matchup of the NFL season so far. 8-0 San Francisco hosting 7-2 division rival the Seahawks, a Seattle team with a new addition to their offense. Here's Lisa Salters.
Tess, the next chapter in Josh Gordon's widely documented story starts tonight with him wearing a Seahawks uniform. After being released by the Patriots on Halloween, Gordon was claimed off waivers the next day and has been with his new teammates for the last 9 days. Pete Carroll said he wasn't counting on Gordon to know the offense well enough to play tonight, but after seeing him catch a couple of balls in his very first walkthrough, Carroll thought to himself, oh yeah, he's playing. So expect to see Gordon on the field a lot tonight. Gordon told me he's not really sure what happened in New England, that he's, quote, just as confused as anyone as to why he was released, but he said he's doing great physically, his body feels good, he's just happy to have the opportunity to get back out on the field to show what he can do. Tess?
We will see what he can do tonight. Seahawks won the toss, defer, 49ers receive. Jimmy Garoppolo, he has often been asked if he's surprised with this 8-0 start.
I wouldn't say we expected to be here, but you want to win every game. Offense is clicking. As a quarterback, it's my job to finish that. At the end of the day, it's did you win or did you lose? And that's all I care about.
'17th start for Garoppolo with the 49ers, 14-2 mark. And as they often do, they go on the ground. And right away, it is Clowney with the tackle of Tevin Coleman. Well, the good news for the 49ers is offensively, they get their bookend tackles back, and then the whole key that makes it go with the fullback, Kyle Juszczyk, back from injury.
Yeah, I think Juszczyk is the most important part of the offense, the fullback. He makes the offense go, this running game. The tackles will help, especially when Jimmy G drops back to pass, but the run game goes through Kyle Juszczyk.
Only a yard for Coleman on the first carry. As you hear, Garoppolo check. And it'll go back to Coleman, who is gobbled up for a loss with Poona Ford, the shortest defensive lineman in the NFL. A generous 5'11", they list him at 310 pounds.
Every time I see Poona Ford, I'm reminded of a young Booger McFarland. He's about 5'0", about 300 pounds, but his athletic ability to play down the line and use that to make plays, it'll be fun tonight for you guys to watch him. Doesn't matter how tall you are, you can make plays in this league if you got good feet and good athletic ability.
So now a 3rd and 10. Here's Garoppolo with time over the middle and gets it complete to Kendrick Bourne for a first down. So 16 yards on 3rd and 10 to Bourne.
You know, Coach Kyle Shanahan talked about Jimmy Garoppolo against man coverage. There, he has man coverage with Bourne, and when Jimmy gets that coverage, he is confident, and he has more arm talent than almost anyone in this league, and he throws a dime to Bourne.
Remember, George Kittle, the all-pro tight end, out injured, so guys like Bourne, Samuel Pettis, and the new addition of Sanders, they all need to step up in the passing game.
118!
You saw the movement, and then you saw the Seahawks defensive end come across. Jaron Reed, big 300-pounder out of Alabama.
Encroachment, defense number 91, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, that defense hasn't produced the way they thought they would. They're just not getting to the quarterback this year.
And the pass rush is the main thing. You know, they haven't created enough pressure on the quarterback, and anytime you play primarily a zone coverage with no pressure, that's a recipe for a disaster.
1.7 sacks per game this season, 5th fewest in the NFL.
118!
1st and 5, a luxury down and distance for Garoppolo as he goes to the top side, but threw it too far to the outside for Goodwin. That was Jadeveon Clowney trying to get to Garoppolo there.
And that's what the Seahawks have been missing, pressure on the quarterback. Garoppolo had a receiver out there, but because the pressure of Clowney forced him to throw it a little sooner than he wanted to, made him throw a little bit off target.
Remember, Clowney was traded over to play on this line for Ken Norton, the defensive coordinator, came over from the Texans back on September 1st. A couple of backup linebackers and a 3rd-round pick went back to Houston. 2nd and 5.
118.
Play action. Garoppolo coming back to the ball that time was Goodwin, but it's incomplete as Shaquille Griffin had coverage. And once again, Clowney getting active in the backfield as he has a nice chat with referee Alex Kemp.
You know, it's play action, but Clowney does not take the run fake. He comes off, he transitions from run to pass, and Garoppolo is feeling the pressure from Clowney early. Nice job by Clowney, playing run and then transitioning to a pass rush.
And the conversation may have been about Garrett Selleck and what he was doing on the way to the quarterback. Huh? In a little piece of Clowney. Here's a 3rd and 5.
118.
Garoppolo, plenty of time, and it is intercepted by Griffin. Shaquille Griffin with an impact play to open up this game as a flag is down just beyond the 50-yard line. But a heck of a play from Griffin.
While the quarterback still had the ball. Holding. Defense number 24. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down, San Francisco.
So it goes the other way. And instead of a pick, it's first down Niners. Penalty on Taylor.
The penalty is going to be right inside in here.
It's a good call. There is a grab and restrict while the quarterback has the ball in his hands.
But Jimmy's got to throw that right now. Number 17, Emmanuel Sanders was open. Jimmy Garoppolo was late. You got to throw that when the guy gets open, Jimmy.
So first down beyond midfield. Garoppolo incomplete as he was looking for Sanders. Let's go back to our officiating analyst, John Perry, because you make the distinction saying while the ball was still in Garoppolo's hands.
Yeah, with defensive holding, the official will see the restriction, look back, find the football, and in this case, quarterback clearly has the football. It's a solid call, which extends the drive.
So that wipes out the would-be interception from Shaquille Griffin.
I think those two pressures by Jadeveon Clowney is kind of affecting Jimmy Garoppolo early. He's just a little off. Late on the throw to Sanders and a little off target on his last pass.
Matt Breida in at running back, replacing Coleman. And he will get the work and tries to get to the corner as he finds his way around the edge. Remember Monday Night Football against Cleveland when Breida opened up the game with that 83-yard touchdown.
He has home run speed. And, you know, this running game, everyone talks about how the 49ers run the football. It all starts with the outside zone. They're trying to get their running back. His aiming point is inside the tight end. He's going to go and push it till he can make one cut and either go outside or go inside. And they do it better than anybody in this league.
You mentioned that home run speed. They clocked him at 22.3 miles per hour on that touchdown he had a month ago. 3rd down and 6 now. Quick to the outside, and a flag comes in as Flowers have coverage on Sanders, who makes the catch about a half-yard short of the line to make. And you see Pete Carroll and the staff.
Pass interference. Defense number 17. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
It's man-to-man coverage, and so far the Seahawks are blitzing and they're daring the receivers of the 49ers in man-to-man coverage. Flowers got a little handsy, but I like the game plan early. They're going to gain the line of scrimmage and take the run away, and they're going to take their chances outside playing press man with these receivers. That's different than what Seattle normally plays. Normally, 1st and 2nd down, they're primarily a zone team. Then on 3rd down, they go to their man and their blitz looks.
3 penalties on the Seattle defense. And, of course, we had the drive extending penalty that wiped out the turnover. Garoppolo under pressure, dancing around, and finally taken down by Trey Flowers.
Taken down in the backfield by number 21, Trey Flowers.
You know, sometimes the sack comes from pressure up front. Jimmy has plenty of time right there. He's just holding the ball. There's nobody open. Everybody is covered in zones. And so now, because of that, Seattle gets a coverage sack. And sometimes that's okay. You can take a sack if you're Jimmy. Don't force it and throw an interception. That sack there goes to the secondary.
Flowers' first career sack. And it makes for a 2nd and 12.
Let's go. 118.
There's the slant to Sanders. Great addition for the 49ers, Emmanuel Sanders, and that goes just inside the 30 for 12 yards and a first down. He was traded over from Denver on October 22nd.
It's amazing when you get a quarterback, a #1 receiver. Emmanuel Sanders is a true #1. Very similar to what Dallas did when they got Dak, Amari Cooper. Now Sanders is here for Jimmy Garoppolo, and boy, you can tell a difference.
How about Coop with the toe taps last night? I mean, every time I was watching that Cowboys-Vikings game, there he is with the toes in and leaning out and still making the catch.
Yeah, he was phenomenal.
10th play of this opening drive. First down, play action goes underneath, and is just able to get it to Breida, who's gobbled up. Lisa.
I was talking to Emmanuel Sanders about his instant connection with Jimmy Garoppolo, and he said people call it chemistry. Really, it's just trust. He knows I'm a 10-year veteran. He knows how I run my routes. He knows I'm going to be where I'm supposed to be, when I'm supposed to be there. But he said, really, Jimmy has done a lot to help me out. He knows that I don't know everything about this offense. Even when we break the huddle sometimes, he'll look at me and say, hey, E, don't forget to do this, don't forget to do that, and it helps me a lot.
And that's what a true #1 brings to a quarterback, dependability.
2nd and 5. Breida nowhere to go at all. Trey Flowers again had the sack moments ago, and now it's cut down. Right there was Breida at the line of scrimmage. So a 3rd and 5. As Breida will come out, Marquise Goodwin, the speedster, will come in. Something to keep in mind, by the way, as Kyle Shanahan's team has made it to the 25-yard line, is that longtime veteran kicker Robbie Gould is out. They have a rookie free agent, Chase McLaughlin, who they signed to play tonight. 3rd and 5. Garoppolo gets away from the pressure and incomplete off the hands of Goodwin.
Jimmy does a really nice job of extending the play, giving Goodwin a chance to uncover down. Just a little high with the throw.
And at the end of that play, Jadeveon Clowney still remains down. We'll take a quick timeout. So moments ago, Jadeveon Clowney walks off the field. And now a field goal attempt for San Francisco. Remember, Robbie Gould, the longtime veteran, he's out with a quad injury, so he's been playing coach this week to the rookie free agent they signed, Chase McLaughlin, who had some time with the Chargers, but now is called into duty here to kick in this big primetime game. Here's a 43-yard attempt from Chase. And he's able to punch it through. And those Seahawks defensive penalties on 3rd down, keeping a drive alive for San Francisco that finishes with a field goal for Kyle Shanahan's team, off to an 8-0 start. Remember, we asked Kyle about, hey, what do you know about Chase McLaughlin the other day? He said, I don't know a thing. I'm not going near him. I just want him to do his job.
Well, he did that time, man.
That's a good start for McLaughlin, who, interesting backstory of a kid who played in the orchestra, was playing the cello, and then all of a sudden went from soccer to football and had a great career in Illinois, bounced around in the NFL already as a rookie, now his 4th team, and gets the Niners on the board. And now we will see Russell Wilson. 22 touchdowns and 1 interception, and coming off of a stellar performance a week ago.
And he's playing the quarterback position as good as anybody in our league at a high level. If I had a vote right now, he is the MVP of this league right now.
Wisnowski handling the kickoff duties. So Russell Wilson with a limitless desire to win.
You know, what I love more than anything else, I always want to lay it on the line no matter what the circumstances are. And I think that confidence, that unwavering belief, it's real.
They ain't even seen us shine yet.
There's a place that we want to go. When you get to that place, there's only one person standing left.
Everybody wants it, but I'm
That confidence, that unwavering belief is real. A lot of guys talk it. When you sit with Russell before a big game like this, you believe it.
You see it on his face. Yes.
And he's got Chris Carson in the backfield who likes contact, and he'll get plenty of it against this defensive line as he goes for 3 yards there. So a challenge for that offensive line tonight.
That's the entire ball game. Can those 5 guys right there handle the front 4 of the San Francisco 49ers? Because if they can in the run game, and especially on the pass, then Russell can improvise and make plays behind them and find Tyler Lockett down the field.
Second and 7. Hollister comes in motion as Wilson gets it complete to Tyler Lockett, who last week in that thrilling win against Tampa was targeted 18 times. He had 13 catches. He threw to him 18 times, Boog.
The connection that he has with Russell is unbelievable. On scramble plays, regardless of what happens, those two are in sync and they know exactly where each other are going to be.
Leaves him with a 3rd and 2.
This is the down that's important for Seattle. The 4 guys up front for San Fran, they want to get after the quarterback. So if you're Russell, you've got to get rid of the ball quick.
3rd and 2. And look at the middle of that defensive line just collapse home. DJ Jones with the sack.
Oh my goodness, just watch the center here. Let's watch number 93, DJ Jones, and watch the whooping that he puts on Joey Hunt. Now, sometimes it's a pass rush move, then other times it's a physical beatdown, and that's what Jones just did to Hunt. My goodness.
That is 16 sacks now on 3rd down for the 49ers. That leads the NFL. They are destructive on 3rd down. As the Australian Dixon punts it away. Beautiful directional and long punt from Dixon. That front 4. They've been leaning on him all year long. The defense does it for the Niners early. Monday Night Football is brought to you by Progressive Insurance, handing off big savings to you. And Burger King. Try the all-new Impossible Whopper made from plants and now available nationwide. Niners, Seahawks, 2013 NFC Championship, the SWAT. That became the game-ending interception that led the way to Seattle, making it to be a Super Bowl champion. And there is Richard Sherman, now on the other side. Those 7 years with the Legion of Boom Seattle teams. And now his home team up a field goal early in this showdown big game in primetime. Pulls it out of the gut of Coleman and then finds Samuel. Deebo Samuel, the rookie from South Carolina, with a chunk play just short of midfield. 30 yards there, Garoppolo to Samuel.
The Seattle Seahawks are selling out to stop the run. You have all those guys up there to stop the run. Jimmy Garoppolo fakes it, and now you have all this room to run the slant route. That's all because the Seattle Seahawks are scared of the run game, and Jimmy Garoppolo's gutting them right now.
Trey Flowers is now being tended to by the medical staff. We'll take a quick break as they look at the starting corner. Saw Trey Flowers moments ago head to the medical tent. They're starting right corner. Remember, Jadeveon Clowney left the game with a shoulder injury. We've been told he's probable to return. And it's a 1st down after the big play from Samuel for the 49ers as the flag comes in.
Encroachment, defense number 93, 5-yard penalty. It remains 1st down.
It's pretty clear what the game plan is right now by Seattle. They're going to dare Jimmy Garoppolo to beat them. They're going to have 8 or 9 guys at the line to take away this run. That's the reason the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan sees that. Pete Carroll is going against Kyle Shanahan a ton. They know each other. So they're going to put this game early on in Jimmy Garoppolo's hands and see if he can beat them.
There's the play selection. You see 9 passes to 4 rushes, and that belies what the 49ers have been so far this year as an offense. They're number 1 in the NFL in terms of rushes per game. Run the ball 37.9 times per game. Kyle Shanahan, head coach, and play calling.
And again, we see the box with only one safety back deep.
Now here's Coleman working behind Juszczyk, and with that block, there goes Coleman, just gashing the Seattle defense for 22 yards.
Let's watch our fullback, number 44, Kyle Juszczyk. He's going to go right and pivot and come back left. And he cuts him, and Coleman follows right behind him inside. I think he's the most important guy to their run game, Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback. That play is called a split belly, inside zone split belly where he's coming downhill.
Coleman again testing the left side, maybe 2 yards there. You know, Juszczyk, when we were out here on October 7th against the Browns, he left the game at a sprained MCL, but he feels 100% now. He had a great week of practice and makes a big difference in what they want to be.
Well, he's so versatile. Not only can he play the fullback position, he can motion. They also can put him at the H-back, the tight end. They can even split him out wide. He can play a little receiver and catch the football. The most versatile fullback, also the best fullback in our league.
And keep your eyes on Juszczyk, and typically you get the big reveal. Here he is, traditional I formation with Breida Dotnet, 2nd and 8. Garoppolo, there's the slant again, and it's Emmanuel Sanders, and it's another first down for San Francisco, a 12-yard completion, Garoppolo to Sanders.
It's like stealing right now. If they're going to gang up to stop the run, you got one-on-one coverage on the outside, and Emmanuel Sanders is one of the best in our league, getting off the jam, creating separation, and Garoppolo throws a dime.
And remember, that's against 23 Nico Thorpe, who's the backup in for Trey Flowers, who left the game earlier on this drive. Play clock counting down here. And a timeout is going to be used by the Niners as they will gather themselves. But Kyle Shanahan has it working every which way, doesn't he, Boog?
Well, and it's all set up by the run game. It's amazing how most teams around the league are they're throwing the football. Kyle Shanahan's old school.
Yeah.
He learned from his dad, Mike, run the football, set up the pass with the play action. He does a phenomenal job of that.
Well, you know, it's so funny because we visited with him and he said, hey, listen, I know I'm running the ball a lot, but I'd love to chuck it downfield all day long. That's his nature. He's got the tools, though. He's got the pieces. And in doing so, you get the better pass protection. It opens up the passing game with the boot stuff and the play action stuff. And then when you decide to mix it and have balance, these are the kind of drives you get.
Well, in 2005, when I was in Tampa, there was a young kid in the back of the room in our defensive meeting rooms charting what the defense does. You know what that was? Kyle Shanahan.
That's right. In there with Rob Marinelli. Listen to him, Monty Kiffin, and that great team. And as Breida just tries to find something up the middle, goes for 3 yards there.
And the reason I bring that up, because he learned how to call, like his play calling philosophy is built off what the defense does. So he learns the rules of what your defense does, whether the corner, what kind of technique he's playing, and then he calls plays to beat your technique and your rules. I think it's a great system and a great way to call plays.
Second and 7. A whole lot of finger pointing the other way.
Yeah, you did it. You did it.
Ball start. Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
It's on Laken Tomlinson, the left guard. You know, the ball control's been amazing early on here. You see the total yards, 104 to 1. 9 minutes and 40+ seconds. As Jadeveon Clowney has returned to the game for Seattle, and they could use the Pro Bowler to help with a stop here. 2nd and 12 after the penalty. Jet motion here with the tap to Samuel, and Clowney nearly a horse collar there as he was reaching out, but leverage enough to contain him to 3 yards.
Clowney is such an athlete, man. I mean, he's inside in the defensive line spot. He attached the guard number 75, and then just watch the speed of a guy that's 6'5" and 270 pounds run down a wide receiver. Almost got a little horse collar.
Here it is coming right at you.
I mean, that's look at the explosion. That's 265 pounds, man. He moves with such ease. The sack numbers are down, but man, he's the ultimate playmaker for this team.
And you see number 21 back in the game. Trey Flowers, the starting corner. 3rd down and 8. Over the middle, Garoppolo to Bourne, and he's in.
It's tough to play man coverage, especially when you don't get your hands on the guy. And Bourne gets an inside release. There's no contact on him. I mean, that's a training camp day 1 throw and catch from Garoppolo and Bourne.
Kendrick Bourne with a 10-yard touchdown reception from Jimmy Garoppolo. They're off to their best start since 1990, and they're off to a great start in this Monday night showdown. A number 9 Oklahoma against unbeaten Book number 12 Baylor. That is 7:30 Eastern on ABC. I'm watching Baylor the other day. It's 9-9 against TCU at the end of regulation. They go 3 overtimes after that.
I'm sorry. Anytime you say college football right now, I only think of one school.
I mean, I walked into work tonight with a purple tie. I thought you were going to hug me for about 15 minutes. Here's a short kick, and Lockett on the return as he makes his way out towards about the 28. All right, so 8-0 are the Niners. 14 teams have started 8-0 since 2002. All of them made the playoffs. 8 of them fell short of making it to the Super Bowl. Four of those midseason unbeatens made the Super Bowl and lost. 2 of them won the Super Bowl. The Saints and both your Colts. Of course, you got traded there when they were 5-0, so that is the situation with the Niners. They are 8-0. And for Seattle now, here comes the new addition. Number 10, Josh Gordon is in the game.
Also in the game is an extra offensive lineman. So I think they're bringing an extra lineman in the block.
And Chris Carson, with that power up front, will test the right side for 2 yards. Now that San Francisco defense with that menacing force up front, with a guy who is in contention for Rookie of the Year, some say even Defensive Player of the Year in Nick Bosa.
And the best way to describe it is they have 4 guys up front that play the run on the way to the quarterback. They play zone behind them, and they force you to throw the football before you want to.
Here's the pitch to Carson on 2nd and 8. And he is met and taken down by Fred Warner. Now, Fred Warner's the inside linebacker. What is a concern for San Francisco is that Quan Alexander, the weak side linebacker, is out for the remainder of the season now.
Well, and Quan was their energy guy. He brought the juice, got the defense hyped up. They think they'll be able to replace the playmaking ability of Quan, but it's just that energy, especially on these big downs right now. This is the down that the Seahawks have to be careful here.
Quan Alexander had surgery last Tuesday, a torn pec. 3rd down and 6.
There's Bosa up top, one-on-one.
They only bring 4. Wilson downfield and incomplete, as it was Emmanuel Mosley on coverage of DK Metcalf.
You know, Killer Witherspoon is out, and you got Emmanuel. And this is really nice coverage by him. Turning back at the last minute. You know, even though they play a lot of zone here in San Francisco, sometimes in your 3-deep coverages, your zone can turn to man. Nice job there by Emmanuel Mosley.
So Michael Dixon, who made the Pro Bowl last season as a rookie, on to punt again. Richie James back to return for the Niners. .43-yard punt. Bobby Wagner, by the way, is wearing the Monday Night Mike tonight.
Let's go! Like I said, bring that juice from start to finish. Leave this field with no doubt. Bring your energy. Make sure they feel you. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Play smart.
Simply put, he's a Hall of Fame linebacker. Does things the right way, plays the game the right way. It's a fun treat to meet him and watch him play.
You see that bottom line, 1,003 career tackles. Came into tonight's game precisely at 1,000 career tackles. One of the best of this generation. As Breida is taken down right at the line of scrimmage by Al Woods. Listen, we have been here through the years. 49ers games, of course. Last year, the College Football National Championship, where Clemson throttled Alabama. There is an energy in this place right now. There is a buzz, Boog.
And when you're undefeated, hot buzz too. This fan base deserves it.
And they got a lot to be happy about at the end of one. 10-0 Niners here on this Veterans Day on Monday Night Football. Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by Goodyear. Up the road is San Francisco. Down the way is Levi's Stadium on a spectacular night here on the West Coast. Kickoff, it was 77 degrees and sunny. Breida trying to use that block in front, and he can't make the most of it as he was taken down by K.J. Wright. By the way, K.J. Wright, we talk about Wagner and the numbers. K.J. Wright now 4th place on Seattle's all-time tackles list.
And when you think about the Super Bowl team that the Seahawks had, only 4 guys are left.
Yes.
K.J. is one of them. The last of a dying breed. He and Bobby Wagner, Luke Wilson, the tight end, Russell. Those guys are the last ones remaining.
Russell.
3rd down and 8. Remember, Kendrick Bourne has been the early 3rd down target for Garoppolo. He has 2 3rd down receptions on the night. Going to check down underneath, and Coleman's going to be taken down. That's a nice play with Bradley McDougald coming up to make the tackle there as the Niners offense will jog off the field.
It's a good stop for the Seattle defense. 49ers offense was rolling. Jimmy checked it down. Now Pete can go back and he can adjust. And this allows your offense and Russell to continue to play and run the football. They don't have to turn this into a shootout just yet.
Now look at this formation here on the punt, as they have Goodwin in the backfield now on this 4th and 3. And Goodwin gets that running start as Wisnowski punts away. Oh, and there goes the ball. Flag is down as they came in on Lockett. That was a little different. Mostert was right on him. Backup running back and special teamer. And the ball went bouncing
Interference
back.
with the opportunity. Kicking team number 31. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
Good call there. No fair catch signal. So it's interference with the opportunity, which they have on any airborne kick. Solid call. The unusual formation is based on only the 2 widest players can
Let's
leave
go
and
back and show you. This is what
beyond.
special teams coordinator Richard Hightower came up with.
So that's a timing based on the snap, time to kick the football. He's right at that line of scrimmage at the time of the kick. I like it.
One of the fastest guys in the league, unabated down the field.
He runs a 4.27. The former Olympian Marquise Goodwin. And Russell gets it complete. Metcalf is taken down by Williams. So Russell Wilson, this spectacular season, and you go through all the superlatives and what sizes up an MVP season. Well, right off the top, when you got 22 touchdowns to 1 interception, but then under pressure, 7 touchdowns. Outside the pocket, 5 touchdowns. So he leads the NFL in all these unique statistical categories.
He makes a ton of plays with his offense, and he's been overshadowed for a long time by the other quarterbacks, but he's playing the best football of his career.
Now 2nd and 2 as he gets to the outside and gets it complete just inside the 40-yard line to Tyler Lockett. 13 yards there in the catch by Lockett.
And I marvel at Russell, just his accuracy outside the pocket. Yeah, he's only 5'10", but how he throws the football in and out of the pocket, especially on the move. Him and Lockett have a special connection. definitely showed right there on that play.
The flag comes in after Seattle picked up their first down of the night.
Offense number 65, 5-yard penalty, first down.
There's Josh Gordon as he trots off the field. He's picked up off of waivers 10 days ago after the Patriots released him. They've been happy with what they've seen in practice and around the facility so far in terms of picking things up. We'll see if he makes an impact tonight. 1st and 15 after the penalty. Wilson scrambling, tucking, and then sidearms it, shuffle throws it, and it's incomplete. As Jimmy Ward was there defensively.
For the first time we hear Nick Bosa coming off the edge against Dwayne Brown. He makes the inside move. That's not good because it allows Wilson to break contain. And then once Wilson gets on the edge, he realizes I can throw it away. As long as I get it past the line of scrimmage, live to fight another down.
Well, that's the thing about Wilson is you got to be disciplined with those pass rush lanes.
Yes.
You tuck it inside, he's a natural-born scrambler.
Especially on the front side right there.
2nd and 15. Wilson tucks, runs, and then slides down as Greenlaw was chasing him. It'll be 3rd down and just a few. He got 11 there. And they're quick to the line. They're going to call it a 3rd and 4 here.
This is what Arizona did to the 49ers. You know, keep that defensive line on the field, make them play a lot of snaps. We figured Seattle would do this, and here they go.
3rd down and 4. Look at this bull rush. Including Fred Warner among the big guys up front, and Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator, is pumped up. And with that sack, pushed themselves right out of field goal range.
Let's look at number 70 here. These two are fanning here. Number 70, Mike Upata, decides not to block anybody, and is scot-free as Fred Warner goes to the quarterback. It's a poor job by the guard, Mike Upati. You got to know. You got to come over and get the linebacker. And Fred Warner says, I'll take that with my friend.
He's the most blitzed quarterback in the NFL, and they get to him that time as Dixon looks to pin here. James fields it inside the 10. So 2 sacks now for San Francisco's defense, and they both come on 3rd down.
I love how Kyle Shanahan called plays. Like, he calls them understanding that each play can mirror each other. Here, just an outside zone out of a shotgun. Matt Breeder's going to take it. Nice gain of 7 yards. And then once the Seahawks see it, he comes right back. Shotgun. And now it's an RPO and pulls it. And there you have all the space. Jimmy Garoppolo reads, throws it. And he trusts Garoppolo in this offense. And he sets him up to play action, the RPOs. It's a tough offense to stop.
Garoppolo is 9 of 13 to start the night, and he has hit on his last 6. Now starting from inside their own 10. And he connects here with Samuel. And that is the physicality and the tough play that they were looking for with Samuel. 19 yards there.
And again, Deebo Samuel working one-on-one. The Seattle Seahawks are in 3-deep zone. And that is that's stealing for Jimmy Garoppolo. It's an easy throw.
Back to pass again. Gets away from the pressure, and then Worm burns it in front of Emmanuel Sanders, as you can see the impact that Clowney's return has with the Seattle defense. So you size up Jimmy Garoppolo, and you consider the first 18 starts of a quarterback in NFL history, and look at the company that he's keeping. Marino and Staubach and Big Ben and Darryl LaMonica. 16-2. He's 14-2 with the Niners. Coleman fighting for a little something extra against the inside there. That was Jackson with the tackle.
Think about the first time this year we saw Jimmy Garoppolo in the preseason against Denver. Everyone around America was going crazy. He had a 0.0 quarterback rating.
That week in practice, there was a Wednesday practice. I remember we were talking about it. He threw 5 straight interceptions on 5 plays.
Everyone was like, man, I don't know about this Jimmy Garoppolo, but he's gotten better and better, and he had his best performance against the Cardinals on Thursday night, and he's playing well.
Well, he had to shake off the rust with the torn ACL last year, work his way back, and now you see more of the rhythm. Here's 3rd and 8. Pressure, though, and he still gets it complete, and Bourne spins free and tries to get to that line of make. What a great play by Kendrick Bourne to get free and yards after the catch.
Clowney may not have the sack numbers, but boy, look at the inside move there against Staley. He's getting pressure, consistent pressure tonight. That's what Seattle needs, and Clowney is bringing it.
3rd and 8, and they get 8. And there is Emmanuel Sanders headed off to the locker room. Lisa will get us an update there. Pitch to Breida as he utilizes that block. And then finally coming up to Phil was Quandre Diggs, the newly acquired safety from Detroit, who came over a couple of weeks ago in a trade to Seattle. Emmanuel Sanders has been a great recent addition to the Niners. A couple touchdowns in his first 2 games with San Francisco, off to the locker room.
And you talk to Garoppolo, and I said, what does Sanders bring to you? He says, you know, he's a veteran wide receiver. He's savvy. I can look at his body language and know when he's breaking in and out of his routes.
Now Weston Richburg, starting center, is also coming off the field. He had knee surgery. He wasn't able to start snapping Jimmy Garoppolo until just before week 1. He's a big part of what they do with the zone scheme in the run game. So Ben Garland, and isn't it fitting on Veterans Day that Ben Garland would come in such a big showdown on Monday Night Football, as he's an Air Force veteran, was undrafted, spent time with the Broncos. He's on the reserve military list for a couple of seasons. And now 6 years into his NFL career, the Air Force veteran Ben Garland now into the game on Veterans Day, as we will take a break here. It'll be 2nd and 3 when we return. ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Experian Boost. Raise your credit score instantly at Experian.com/boost. Oh boy, we're going to take you back to October of 2002 and T.O. and the Sharpie. The Niners and the Seahawks overshadowed by the moment he did it. Niners won that game 28-21, October 14th of 2002.
Oh, T.O.
Breida on 2nd and 3, nowhere to go at all. Brandon Jackson, the tackle, and Kendricks. Lisa, what's the update we need?
Well, we saw Emmanuel Sanders go back to the locker room, but this is the play where it happened, where Jimmy Garoppolo threw the ball in the dirt in front of him. You can see he grabs his ribs even before the ball's sent his way. I watched him then take his helmet off and just come off the field immediately. Again, he's back in the locker room right now, but as he walked by me, he just kind of looked at me and shook his head as if to say, like, I can't even believe this is happening. So we'll have more when we get it.
Yes, Lisa, 3rd down and 3. Garoppolo, look at the time on 3rd and 3 as he's calling for a receiver to come back to the ball, and it's incomplete as he was looking for Dante Pettis, who was covered by Trey Flowers, who's back in after leaving.
It's a good job by the Seattle secondary. The Seahawks brought Shaquem Griffin in to play left defensive end to try to get some pass rush. Garoppolo had plenty of time. Nice job on the back end playing zone coverage by the Seahawks.
So Wisnowski on to punt in a more traditional formation this time for the Niners. As it takes a bounce and runs out inside the 20. Well, next week we're heading to Estadio Azteca in Mexico City for the Chiefs and the Chargers. 8 Eastern on ESPN. Their coverage will begin with Monday Night Countdown at 6. And yesterday was the return of Patrick Mahomes. And yes, they were upset. You know what happened with the blocked field goal at the end. But Mahomes did his part. 446 yards and 3 touchdowns.
How good is he, man? I mean, for a guy to come off the injury, to miss time, to come back and throw for over 400 yards, I can't wait to get down there and watch him play.
It's going to be fun down there in Mexico City. How's your Spanish, Boog?
It's good enough to order tacos.
Or should I say moco?
Yeah, that too.
There's Carson as he gets to the 20. So, but what should be the approach offensively as Seattle tries to get out of this early hole?
Well, as long as their defense can hold the game at 10-0, they can stay with their formula. Seattle wants to run the football, control the clock, especially against this defensive line, and then allow Russell Wilson to take some shots to Lockett and Metcalf, maybe even Josh Gordon. But it's imperative their defense control it, and now they can still play smash mouth football.
Brian Schottenheimer, second year as the Seattle offensive coordinator, said he feels like Russell Wilson understands where he wants to go with play calls, and he understands Russ much better as well. Here's the short pitch to Lockett. Lockett takes the punishment and still went forward after Richard Sherman pounded him a gain of 3.
Most cornerbacks in our league, they just want to cover. They don't want to tackle. Richard Sherman, over his entire career, regardless whether he's playing zone or man, he takes on DK Metcalf and comes up and says, hey, Mr. Lockett, remember me? I was part of the Legion of Boom in Seattle.
Third and 3. Gets it out quickly and gets it for a first down to the big rookie, DK Metcalf, who goes 6'4", 229, 8 yards there.
Nice little pick, rub, however you want to call it. Lockett sets up Metcalf, and Metcalf makes a nice catch. Here's the thing I love about Metcalf. You know, a lot of people tried to pigeonhole him coming out. You know, he showed up at the combine. He had like 12 abs. He ran 4.3. And they said he was a one-trick pony. He can run every route in the route tree, and Seattle loves him.
As they go with Hollister now, and look at Hollister lower his shoulder. Jacob Hollister, who was on the practice squad most of the year. This is only his 5th game up with Seattle. Had the game-winning touchdown in overtime last week. Second and 1. Carson trying to find something there as he is close to the line to make, but Azeez Al-Shaair, the rookie who is forced into action tonight with the injury to Quan Alexander, able to wrap him up. There is Al-Shaair, the rookie from Florida Atlantic.
And it's funny, you know, he was undrafted, and when he came out, his head coach down there, Lane Kiffin, wrote a letter to all 32 head coaches and all 32 GMs saying this kid's going to be a star, give him a shot. John Lynch listened, gave him a shot, and now he's starting.
Well, he led Conference USA in tackles his junior year and then had to overcome the torn ACL and MCL his senior year, so people scattered. But he's come up big here. Here's a 3rd and 1. Wilson looking to convert on 3rd and 1, and it's denied. Batted down by Fred Warner. He got up and said no.
There's Fred Warner, number 54 here. But I want you to also watch number 97, Joey Bosa, because Bosa pressures Russell Wilson and allows Fred Warner to get into the passing lane. But look at Bosa. He converts from run to pass. Just enough pressure on Russell Wilson. We had to let it go.
Oh, it just gets into the end zone for the touchback. So the Seahawks, they get that 9 yards on first down, and then they can't come up with anything after that. Force the punt away. ESPN's Monday Night Football brought to you by Bud Light, reminding you to keep it crisp responsibly. This crowd enjoying a 10-0 lead here in the second quarter. 49ers have won 49 games on Monday Night Football, the most in NFL history. The last remaining unbeaten team in the NFL this season.
As we watch the 49ers, a lot of people are wondering, are they for real? How are they 8-0? It's the formula that they have. You run the football, now you force the defense to commit an extra guy to stop the run, and now Jimmy Garoppolo and these receivers have man-to-man and one-on-one coverage on the outside.
Coleman splits out, empty look here on 2nd and 7. And he is ball is out, and Clowney's got it, and Seattle's on the board. Just like that, things can change so quickly. Jaron Reed forced it out. Clowney scoop and score.
It's the twist action inside. Those two, they're going to twist, come across, and Jaron Reed splits the double team and knocks the ball out of Garoppolo's hands. Clowney picks it up. But that play was all caused by Reed and then Clowney being Johnny on the spot and a playmaker for the Seahawks defense. But
big-time players make big-time plays, Bo.
Jaron Reed made a play for this defense inside.
Ten-yard fumble return touchdown by Clowney, forced by Reed. And all of a sudden, it's just a 3-point margin. Big Jaron Reed, who Pete Carroll was raving about when we spent time with Coach last night, saying he's the one guy up front I think can make a big difference. And consider what a difference this game can make in the NFC playoff picture. This is the swing game so far when you consider the NFC.
Without a doubt. And when you look at the Seahawks, and it's a division game, they don't want the 49ers to get out too far. How the Packers played yesterday, a really good win in inclement weather. But Seattle believes they still have a chance to win this division. And it's plays like that against this offense that give them hope. They've been waiting on Jaron Reed. Missed a few games, but then he came back, and they've been waiting on him to show up. Nice little stunt inside and got the sack there. Pete Carroll will love that.
He was suspended the first 6 games this year. It was a violation of the NFL's personal conduct policy. Last year had 10.5 sacks,
yes.
Was disruptive. And this year, if he can find that gear when they need it most, that's what's been lacking. The pass rush. Told you at the top, 5th fewest sacks in the NFL entering this week. That was an impact play there. So back to business and time to respond for Jimmy Garoppolo. Just under 3 minutes to play here in this high-energy first half.
And now if you're the 49ers, you got to get back to your game plan. Okay, if they're going to have a single high safety and dare you to throw the football, you got to block them up and do it. If they keep 2 safeties high, now you have to run the football.
Coleman offset with Juszczyk in the backfield. Excuse me, Breida in the backfield, and he will work behind and try to get loose. Not much there, but made the most of it. Just a couple of yards. Interesting night for Clowney, hasn't it been, Book?
Well, Clowney was the guy, you know, the playmaker. Somebody had to take over. The Legion of Boom is no more. Clowney's been very active. They've been waiting on the sack numbers. They haven't came yet. But for him, his activity, making plays, being Johnny on the spot, he's been a difference maker. He has been worth every bit of trade equity that they saw a way to get him. He's paid dividends.
2nd down and 9. They bring A-gap pressure. It's picked up, and it gives Garoppolo time to do this. Incomplete, as downfield and open was Kyle Juszczyk. And Quandre Diggs came in hard at the end of that against the fullback on that seam.
Not only Diggs, but K.J. Wright dropping into coverage, forcing Jimmy Garoppolo to throw the football high, giving Diggs time to come over. So nice zone drop there by number 50, K.J. Wright.
That's a different element that Juszczyk gives this offense as a fullback. He's not a run into a brick wall kind of fullback.
Not many fullbacks run seam routes 30 yards down the field.
And now a 3rd down and 9. Opportunity down for this Seattle defense.
Here's Clowney here.
3rd and 9, and the whistles blow. as there was some movement.
False start, offense number 69, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And backs them up even more. Real opportunity for momentum here with Seattle to close out this first half as we are approaching the 2-minute warning. They can get a stop here, get the ball, just down 3 after San Francisco dominated the early going.
And the Seahawks have brought number 49, Shaquem Griffin, in the game. He's playing the left defensive end. Had a ton of sacks when he's at Central Florida. They got Clowney on the other side. They're trying to create pass rush. Here's Clowney, here's Griffin.
Third and 14 for Garoppolo. And it's incomplete as Pettis was the intended target. And they got 2 officials coming in here, and clearly incomplete as Pettis had McDougal breaking this up at the end. Watch
Ruling on the
McDougal go
field
stick
is
up.
an incomplete pass. This is the 2-minute warning. Timeout.
As you see Pettis trying to maintain firm control, and then McDougal breaking it up at the end there. 2-minute warning has arrived. The Genesis halftime is coming up with Susie, Steve Young, Louis Riddick, and folks, here it comes. Disney Plus original Star Wars series, The Mandalorian. You're going to get an exclusive look at The Mandalorian coming up on Genesis halftime. And Peyton's Place, that's now streaming on ESPN Plus. Joe Montana and other NFL greats featured on Peyton's Place. That Mandalorian, that's what everybody's talking about, folks. In your house, that'll go over big.
It'll be huge.
Here's Lockett on the return. Reverses field. Tests the left side and finds success. And Seattle is in prime position. By the way, that was a low drive of a punt by Wisnowski. Only a 3.41 hang time.
It's a good job by Lockett, seeing all the 49ers on the right side. He reverses field. It's amazing how momentum has changed so far. Jaron Reed gets a sack fumble. It's 10-7. The big punt return by Lockett. Now all the momentum is with the Seahawks.
And the 49ers are the only NFL team that has not allowed any points in the final 2 minutes of a first half this year. Saleh's defense has denied everybody before halftime. Wilson off of the play action. Here's Carson out of the backfield as he is forced out after getting 4 yards. And Russell Wilson, inside the 2-minute warning of first half. He has an NFL high 4 touchdown passes. He's completing over 70%, and he's 9.7 yards per attempt under the 2-minute warning of first half. So you have the best in the biz at both sides in this situation right here. Second and 6. Carson on the run, and it's a first down for Seattle. 8 yards there from Chris Carson.
And Seattle has all the time in the world. They got 3 timeouts, already down to the 27-yard line. So they can run any play in their playbook right now. They are in prime position.
It was that low line drive punt, the good return by Lockett, and now Seattle looking to take advantage. As he comes back to Metcalf, and Metcalf weaves his way, and look at the leg drive. All the way down to the 1-yard line. 49ers claiming they've got the ball. Let's watch the end of this play. DK Metcalf, but watch Jaquiski Tart at the end of this play, and you be the judge. Metcalf, does it come out?
Yes, that ball is out.
Jaquiski Tart, watch this play by Tart.
He takes it away from Metcalf. The key will be at what point on the play did he take it away?
It looks like
the previous play is under review.
So let's bring in John Perry, our officiating analyst, Super Bowl referee.
Really interesting here. I think we're going to see this ball come out early.
We'll take a quick break and find out when we return. There is so much to undo here with this play with DK Metcalf trying to score and Jaquiski Tartt, the 49ers defensive back, ripping it away. John Perry.
Yeah, we got 29 who's standing out of bounds, touches the football, but the ball is in player possession. So this play continues. Prior to reaching down by contact, we're going to have a strip at the 2-yard line, 2 feet in the field of play, also momentum. So I think we're going to put this ball at the 2-yard line, San Francisco, 1st and 10.
Incredible, as Metcalf is literally pulling the 215-pound Tartt with him, but because of that, he possesses the ball. Tartt's out of bounds, but then Metcalf still possessing the ball, and then Tartt reestablishes himself before he possesses it.
Yeah, I like his momentum, 2-yard line. We'll see if New York agrees with us. We got a lot of things in this play to take a look at. Foot out of bounds, touching the football in player possession, stripped prior to being down by contact, and momentum.
But here's the thing I love. I just love the effort by Tartt, not giving up on the play. Seattle hits a play. Nice block by the left tackle, Dwayne Brown. Metcalf seemingly has a huge play, maybe even a touchdown. But the effort by Tartt, not giving up, that's what's ingrained in this defense, and I think he's going to get rewarded for it.
It's so interesting, John, to sit back and think about the levels that you go through. And you are the lead referee for 2 Super Bowls. You've worked 3. Of how much you have to go through to undo and clear up in a play like that.
You know, it's been a tough 8-9 weeks on these guys. This is really good officiating. This is why we have replay. We got so many things to dissect, and angles and views are everything, which is why we're embracing technology on a play like this.
Remember what we said about the 49ers being the only team that hasn't given up any points in the last 2 minutes before a half.
After review, number 29 for San Francisco stripped the ball at the 2-yard line. His momentum carried him into the end zone where he was down. Therefore, the ball will be San Francisco's at the 2-yard line. 1st down. Please reset the game clock to 1:04.
The defensive mentality. Get to the ball. Make a play. Hustle. They are relentless defensively. Look at the takeaway improvement from a year ago. And they have ridden this defense to the perfect mark so far.
That's just a great job. And even Mosley there, number 41, keeping him out, allowing Tartt to make a play.
His first career fumble recovery, and it comes in that moment. And now Coleman able to give him a little bit of breathing room. I mean, Seattle, they get the punt return. They start getting some 1st downs. All of a sudden, they have momentum. They're going in to either tie or take the lead, and Tartt comes up huge. And a timeout is used by Seattle right at a minute to go before we get to halftime and that exclusive look at Star Wars The Mandalorian. The NFC West, such an important game here. The Rams lost to that Steelers team that has just been on fire after the 0-3 start. And now here's Seattle and San Francisco trying to see who can sit atop the NFC West down the stretch run.
Well, the Rams have to get their offensive line together. Otherwise, the top 2 teams, 49ers and Seahawks, will run away with this division.
And Seattle hoping they can come up with a stop here, utilize those timeouts. 2nd and 7. And as he gets it over to Samuel, who gets free and is out past the 20-yard line. He has been a dynamo, this rookie receiver from South Carolina. 17 yards there from Garoppolo.
Really good job there by Garoppolo on the RPO, reading number 37, Quandre Diggs. Diggs came down, he threw it out. Nice job there by Garoppolo.
A timeout utilized from Seattle. You know, so many people look at San Francisco coming into this game and say, yeah, I know the 8-0, I know the defense, but, you know, some doubt. Here comes the tough stretch of the schedule with this showdown, and then look at how they finish up.
Yeah, the schedule gets tougher, but how they play and their formula for winning will play against any of those teams, and it'll travel anywhere, anytime, in any weather. And I think that's what they feel good about. When you can stop the run and run the football the way they do, it'll travel to any stadium in the country.
Now they're going to go victory formation here to close out this first half. Settled with the one remaining timeout, but obviously Samuel got the first down there moments ago. And as you see Pete Carroll running off the field, what a swing moment we had there with the turnover at the 2-yard line as Metcalf was coming in and Tart stripped it away. Russell Wilson, the front runner at the midseason point for MVP, had found a little something, and then Tart took it away from Metcalf. 10-7, the undefeated Niners. Keep watching. We got an exclusive look at the Disney Plus original Star Wars series, The Mandalorian, coming up next on the Genesis Halftime.
Some football.
And they've been extra rowdy here at Levi's Stadium, where they have a lot to roar about. And we've got a 10-7, wildly entertaining first half. Russell Wilson started to get things going a little later. Jimmy Garoppolo started off early, and here we are with the undefeated 49ers trying to stay perfect on the year. They come in 8-0 against the division rivals, and we got a 10-7 game. Now, you've won 2 Super Bowls, and you turned to me when we just took a break for the half, and you say, this feels like a playoff atmosphere here tonight, and they're hitting like it as well.
Well, I mean, you got 2 division teams that know each other really well, and the 49ers and the Seahawks both want to prove something to each other based on where they are in the season.
All right, here's the Kay Jewelers extraordinary moments as we have our third quarter reset here. As early on, as we said, it was the Niners in business, and it was Kendrick Bourne with the touchdown.
And Jimmy Garoppolo does a real nice job, especially when he sees man coverage. And then you're going to see Jaron Reed on a little inside stunt. They've been waiting on him to come back and make a play. He did. Jadeveon Clowney is Johnny on the spot. And then a nice play call by Brian Schottenheimer, but even better effort by Jaquiski Tart, not giving up. And just an amazing strip fumble there. I mean, that's just a great play. Defending every blade of grass you can for your defense.
I mean, there's Jaquiski Tart, the safety for the Niners, watching Metcalf rumble down the field, and he gets himself involved. Next thing you know, denied 49ers ball, and we're off to the half. But remember, the Seahawks won the toss initially. They deferred, so they will start with the ball here in this second half. So see if Russell Wilson can get that momentum back that he clearly found with under 2 minutes to play.
Well, and the defense created that momentum. They have to continue it right now.
And there's Lockett from just inside the end zone, and he's taken down at about the 22. Lisa.
I asked Pete Carroll if he likes where they are on the scoreboard despite not having a whole lot of offense in that first half. He said, I would have liked it better if we had finished that drive at the end of the half. He said it was just so close, but hey, that's the way it goes. He said, hey, we get the ball back to start the half. We got to get it rolling. Kyle Shanahan was also talking about that play that Jaquiski Tart made. He said it was huge for us, and it gave us a chance to keep the lead at halftime. I asked him, what do you have to get back to start this second half? He said, we've got to run the ball and no turnovers. Tess?
Thank you, Lisa. They ran the ball for 46 yards in that first half. Of course, they run the ball more than any team in the NFL. 54% of the time is the rush percentage. On that kickoff coverage, Azeez Al-Shaair, the rookie linebacker, was slow to get up, and now he's being walked off the field by the training staff. Now, just a few weeks ago, that wouldn't have mattered as much, just a special teamer, but remember the injury to Quan Alexander, so they are relying on Al-Shaair in their base defense. Carson gonna bounce it, and he picks up a nice block from Dwayne Brown. So a good start to the second half for Seattle. Well, we saw the injuries often for the Niners in that first half. Keep in mind, they came in tonight without the guy who Kyle Shanahan says is their best player, George Kittle. And now Emmanuel Sanders, the recent addition the #1 receiver that they wanted to get their hands on. They got him from Denver. He's out with a rib injury. After the 9-yard gain from Carson, this time he was taken down by Nick Bosa, who came around there. Chris Carson, who was a 7th-round pick just 2.5 years ago, now their go-to running back. Remember, they used a 1st-round pick on Rashad Penny, and people say, how come Penny's not out there? Carson has blossomed into being a real star for this team.
A physical running back, and it's amazing. When he was at Oklahoma State, early on, he thought of himself as a juke guy, a guy that wanted to make you miss. And then Rennie Childs said, hey, man, you squat 600 pounds. Why don't you run over somebody? And then he became more physical.
3rd down and 1. They could use some of that physicality here on the short pitch with Brown out in front, and easily able to gain the 1st down is Carson. 6 yards there on that carry.
You know, regardless of the formation, offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer doing a good job of staying true to who you are. That time, feeding Carson the football. This team's identity is being physical, running the football, allowing Russell Wilson to show his playmaking ability when they get in one-on-one situations.
And now Schottenheimer sends Penny into the game, play action off of it. Wilson doing what he does best, scrambling, extending, and then finding the target as he looked the way of DK Metcalf, and that's a 1st down. But the scrambling ability of Russell Wilson, it is something.
I mean, just think about this. As a defensive lineman, I'm rushing this guy, and he goes up, then he comes back. I mean, just look how long he's holding the football. And when you do that, that allows your receivers to uncover. It doesn't matter what coverage you're in, whether it's man or zone. That time, Metcalf does a good job seeing his quarterback in trouble, goes to an open area. Russell finds it. I mean, that's just tough on the defense.
So a 1st down just beyond midfield. And now Penny, who we mentioned was the 1st-round pick in 2018, goes for 3. But Brian Schottenheimer, he said to you both yesterday, you said, what do you do? Do you coach to this? I said, yeah, we go through it. We tell receivers you have to find the open space.
Well, there are scramble drill rules. Normally, the guys that are short go a little deeper. The guys that are deep come back to the quarterback. We saw Metcalf. He was kind of short. He went a little deeper, and Russell Wilson found him.
2nd and 7 now as Penny remains in as the running back here. And Penny is taken down, and the ball came out at the end of that play. And San Francisco may have gotten it again. There is a fight for the ball, and the 49ers have it. Pete Carroll in disbelief. They closed out the 1st half with a fumble recovery, and now that's how they open up the 2nd half. That was DeForest Buckner with the recovery. Williams just punched it out from Penny, and big DeForest Buckner jumped on it. As that opening drive for Seattle, it goes away. And now back to offense, Garoppolo with Tevin Coleman in the backfield behind Kyle Juszczyk. And Garoppolo will swing it to Coleman. As Coleman struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage, and a flag comes in after that tackle by Michael Kendricks.
Maybe looking at a horse collar here, back of that nameplate, top of the jersey.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle. Defense number 56. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
You see that left hand right on that nameplate. And that's the 5th penalty on the Seahawks defensive unit tonight. This defense has struggled at times this year, even with the success of being a 7-win team.
44 is in the home position. He'll take you to the football.
There's the short pitch to Coleman, and he utilizes the block from Juszczyk, but then good pursuit there as he gets 4.
Let's go back to the turnover. Watch number 98 come inside. He attracts, comes off the edge. Just a really nice call there by defensive coordinator Robert Saleh. And Buckner on the backside. Once K'Wan Williams causes the fumble, Buckner on the backside making a clear recovery.
There's Big Buckner, who had the recovery. Robert Saleh is one of the real ascendant names in terms of who could be a next good head coach in the NFL. And this time Garoppolo goes down as Poona Ford collapses on him, and Clowney was coming around, and that is the third sack of the night for Seattle.
They've been waiting on him. Watch the one-on-one move by Jadeveon Clowney. He fakes inside, makes Joe Staley shift his weight inside, then Clowney comes to the outside. Clowney has been on fire tonight. Of course, he scored the touchdown, but the most impressive part has been the consistent pressure on Jimmy Garoppolo.
I guess the assist there for Ford. Give my buddy a sack there. I'll push him right into you. 3rd down and 11. 4-man rush against Garoppolo. Plenty of time, but he checks down to Ross Dwelly. Dwelly trying to fight for extra yardage against Jamar Taylor. Remember, Dwelly is in because the All-Pro George Kittle left last week's game, that win at Arizona, with a knee and ankle injury. And he was unable to go at practice this week.
The Seahawks did a really nice job dropping back into a cover 2.
There is Kittle watching up from the box,
forcing Jimmy Garoppolo to throw underneath. Now, here's a 4th down. The 49ers are going to go for it. Probably a little play action, getting Garoppolo on the edge. He's going to have one-on-one coverage on the outside.
4th down and 2. They eschew the field goal attempt from the rookie free agent, and instead come up incomplete, and a turnover on downs. He was looking for Deebo Samuel. So the fumble is a wash for Kyle Shanahan's team. So Seahawks and Russell Wilson back with the ball. And Russell Wilson trying to take the Seahawks up into playoff contention. Russell, Boogie's never missed a game. Boy, this is good stuff with the up animation, isn't it? He's got that sash, 6 playoff appearances in 7 seasons, Super Bowl champion, but that missing spot, maybe a new merit badge on the sash for Russell. Could be the MVP. You got to have those magical moments, got to have the stats. This could be one of them tonight to keep in the race. He's never received a single MVP vote in his career.
Dare I say right now, he's leading the MVP race. And as poor as the Seattle Seahawks have played tonight, it's a 3-point game, and Russell Wilson has the football. Pete Carroll has to be happy with that.
Remember, Penny fumbled it on the last offensive series. Carson back in now. And Wilson quickly gets it to Metcalf, and Metcalf is met at the 40-yard line. Metcalf was going in inside the 5 earlier tonight before halftime, when all of a sudden Jaquiski Tartt stripped it away in a spectacular defensive play. And Seattle felt like they had some momentum. Now each team with a possession here in the second half, and Seattle back on offense facing a 2nd and 3. Quickly to the outside, it is Hollister. Hollister, by the way, is now the only tight end they have. Remember, Will Dissly's out on IR. Luke Wilson, the starter, he's out injured tonight, so it's Hollister to go.
Love the adjustment that Brian Schottenheimer's made, the offensive coordinator. I'm not going to allow Russell to hold the football, catch it, shotgun, throw it quick. Early on, he got sacked. They made the adjustment. We're going to run the football. We're going to bring the extra offensive lineman in, number 74. They're in jumbo. There he is, coming in motion.
That's George Fant, the extra tackle. 1st down, Wilson steps up away from the rush, nearly crossed the line, and then throws it incomplete, short of Tyler Lockett.
Moving Russell out of the pocket, changing the launch point. Normally that's 5 to 7 yards behind the center. They're doing a good job. Little play action, move him out, Fant. But look at all the real estate that Russell has. I bet he kind of wishes he ran that one. He had a lot of room to run there.
He did. They ran it off, and there was a lot of grass in front of him, and he had hit on his last 5 attempts prior to that. So a 2nd and 10. see that orbit reverse motion, and then they come back to Carson setting up the screen, and a good job by Eric Armstead to stay with it. And Carson only able to get 5 as Armstead was riding him down.
Man, what a play by Armstead, man. The guys don't just rush the passer. Number 91 Armstead coming off the ball, rush the passer. Now go chase the screen and redirect. That's a 6'6", 300-pound defensive lineman chasing it back down.
3rd down and 5. This place is roaring. Third and 5. Pressure. Right on him is Fred Warner. And down again is Russell Wilson. Three sacks tonight have all come on 3rd down for Saleh's defense.
The entire offensive line is going to go down. Warner is going to come. It's a really good job by Warner of defeating the back and going inside and getting in Wilson's face. Defensive coordinator Robert Saleh bringing the blitz. The offensive line went down, and Warner did a nice job of getting in Wilson's face there, creating pressure.
As Dixon's punt will come with a flag, and Richie James will come on the return before he trots out at around the 17-yard line. Alex Kemp and his crew did a very nice job at the end of the first half, didn't they? Cleaning up that mess with the strip and the fumble.
Offside. Defense number 31 was lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Another big moment came from Robert Saleh's defense on 3rd down. The penalty was on Mostert. Remember, Saleh was a defensive assistant for Seattle.
Yeah.
A good part of the foundation and the molding of his career came from Pete Carroll and that group.
Not only X and O wise, but understanding how to be a man, how to care for how to care about your life, and how to build your life as a man. To me, he did an outstanding job. And you know, it's interesting now. The 49ers defense, they pick their spots. They don't blitz a lot, but when they do, they make it effective, just as they did just now.
You don't need to blitz a lot when you have those 4 defensive linemen, huh? They pick their spots well, and it's worked out tonight. And they're still trotting up the sideline there after this hard rush and poor direction from Dixon. Just a 22-yard punt. Saleh's great to watch on the sideline too, isn't he? Folks, remember, when we're done here, you got Sports Center with Scott Van Pelt and all the post-game coverage of this Monday Night Showdown. Booger and Ryan Clark are going to break it down. Does Scotty know what he's doing by having the two of you together following LSU's win over Bama? I don't know if that's advisable. As Breida takes the carry. You know what's interesting in visiting with Nick Bosa the other day, who obviously is an Ohio State guy, right? Ohio State guy through and through. He said to us, well, I still play video games weekly with Joe Burrow, the LSU Heisman contender now, who, of course, was one of his teammates at Ohio State. They're there playing video games together. You got the guy who may be the Rookie of the Year and the guy who may be the Heisman winner.
Without a doubt. And I can't wait to get on with SVP. You know, Alabama beats up on Tennessee, and they do their thing. I'm going to get up there and have the victory cigar tonight.
You didn't. You didn't. Garoppolo pumps, looks, trails, and finds. Coming back to it was Deebo Samuel. 6 yards there. How long you been carrying around that cigar?
We talk about Russell Wilson and his wide receivers adjusting on scramble rules. Deebo Samuel did a good job, saw his quarterback was in trouble, and he came back out of his route downhill. Made a nice catch there.
Now leaves him with a 3rd and 1. It's a good night for Samuel in a big spot here. timeout on the field here.
The ruling on the field is the pass was complete, short of the line to gain. San Francisco has challenged that ruling.
So Kyle Shanahan's going to challenge it. They'll take a look at that spot, and we'll take a break while they do so. Remember, moments ago, the officials on the field said that Deebo Samuel was short of the line to gain.
Yeah, great catch, and the defender touches the receiver just beyond that line of gain. I think it's going to be a catch and a first down.
After review, the receiver caught the ball and was down at the 40.5-yard line. It'll be San Francisco's ball there, 1st and 10. San Francisco is not charged a timeout. Please reset the game clock to 6:22. 6:22, please.
So a well-used challenge there for San Francisco. And good eyes out of our John Perry, as it is a first down for the Niners. White. 10-7. Niners trying to stay as the lone unbeatens in the NFL. Garoppolo, pressure coming after him as he releases, and it's intercepted by Diggs. Quandre Diggs on the return, and the newly acquired veteran safety comes up big for Seattle.
There's Bourne here, number 84. You know, Garoppolo does a really nice job throwing it just a tad high. Goes off of Bourne's hand. Bourne probably should have came down with that one, but that was a nice job also by Diggs. Playing zone coverage, being in the right spot. Yeah, Bourne's got to come down with that catch. It's a tad high. This is professional football. You got to make that catch if you're Bourne.
Pete Carroll loves it. He's been looking for a little juice and some impact plays from this defense, and he gets one from Quandre Diggs.
You want to be a great defense, it's sudden change. Your offense puts you in a bad situation, now make a play.
Now Carson, as the ball came out there, got a lot of that tonight. Joey Hunt retreats to fall on it. Rashad Penny fumbled it earlier as well. Carson's had fumble issues, more fumbles lost than any NFL running back. And 6 this year that he's fumbled. 2nd and 11 now. Wilson steps up. He's going to tuck and run. And he's inside the 10, inside the 5, and it's going to be 1st and goal, Seattle. A 14-yard run from Russell Wilson.
It's what happens when the pass rush lanes, the integrity, they break down. The 49ers open up the A and B gaps on the inside, and Wilson finds a hole coming down. And now it's just Russell Wilson making a play. The guy who's leading the MVP race, making a play for his team in the red zone.
Since he's entered the league, he's the #1 scrambler in football. And it put him in position here. Wilson directing traffic to the end zone, and Hollister has it. And Seattle has the lead. Hollister had the overtime game winner last week, and now he has Seattle out in front.
No, that wasn't too.
Wilson gets outside the pocket. He's extending the play. And Hollister knows that. And Wilson finds him, throws it just over the top. Just watch Hollister. He's looking back at his quarterback, and he knows he's in trouble. Little push-off maybe. But Russell Wilson extending the play, buying time for Hollister to uncover And then a great catch by Hollister. Nobody in the NFL extends the play and allows their receivers to uncover and make plays for him like Russell Wilson does. And he did it again.
23 touchdown passes on the year for Russell Wilson. And only one interception. And it was an interception moments ago by his Seattle defense that set that up with a 44-yard return from Diggs. Diggs had been dealing with a hamstring issue recently, and his Seattle debut ends up having a gold star next to it with that play. Jacob Hollister, who has 3 touchdowns in his last 2 games. In his first 26 games in his NFL career, he didn't score. Now all of a sudden, here he is delivering for Seattle. And Russell Wilson, the talk of the front runner for the midseason MVP chatter. As he's 12 of 16, 108, managing things best he can against this elite defensive front. And the touchdown there. When you consider in your first 8 seasons of a career, the most touchdown passes, Marino and Manning, but then look at what reveals itself. Manning and Marino, you got the big interception totals. With Russell Wilson, 219 on top, 64 interceptions in his career compared to the other guys.
The consistency. He's been doing this for a long time. You know, he showed up in Seattle. It was Matt Flynn's job.
That's
but
right.
Pete Carroll says, I'm going to play the best guy. And he beat him out. And he's been there ever since, doing a great job for the Seahawks.
14-10 all of a sudden. USAA and the NFL pay tribute to our armed forces through our salute to service. Like Patrick Cohen, the uncle of 49ers tight end George Kittle. Patrick is a retired colonel from the U.S. Army. Boog, I can't help but just take pause today and think about what a blessing it is to be able to do that. Kittle, of course, out tonight, but on this Veterans Day, how much gratitude, how much we want to celebrate everybody who has served, who continues to serve. You know, we toss around these words like hero and courage and sacrifice in sports. Stop. Those are the real heroes. That's real courage. That's real sacrifice to allow us to have this fun.
And on behalf of everyone, we just say thank you.
Garoppolo somehow escapes the first wave from Clowney, and then a flag goes down at the end of it as Jefferson eventually brought him down. And Clowney's just looking up at Alex Kemp with an incredulous glare.
Personal foul, lowering the head to initiate contact. Defense number 99. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So they tag Jefferson. Here's the first look at Clowney.
Clowney has been unbelievable tonight. You put Juszczyk on him, you bring Dwelly in, it doesn't matter. He has been dominating, getting to the quarterback. And
John Perry, do you agree with that call there?
You know, they went use of helmet, second man in for lowering and initiating contact with the head.
I'd like to take another peek at that, as this is incomplete. They went with the initiating contact with the helmet. This is what the call was, John.
Look at his eyes, look at his head. It does dip, and it goes directly into the quarterback. I like the call based on the new rule, 2018, use of helmet.
Right, which is a concern of the welfare and safety of the players.
But Garoppolo was going down also. So as a defender, how are you supposed to decide where to go as the quarterback is lowering, JP?
Keep in mind, it's not roughing the passer, use of helmet, lowering and initiating contact with the head. Good call.
And here is Samuel as Garoppolo quickly gets it to him, and a flag is down at the 42-yard line.
Holding. Offense number 84. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
49ers ran a little RPO there, trying to get the ball on the outside to Deebo Samuels. You know, right now they're searching. They're searching offensively. There's Bourne there holding. You clearly see grabbing. The 49ers are searching offensively. Seattle's done a really good job of controlling the run game, and now they're daring the 49ers to throw the football. This is how teams are going to play them. This game is now shifted from a running game. This game will be on Jimmy Garoppolo the rest of the way.
Second and 18. Garoppolo. As the ball is out, and it is Seattle's ball. That is Poona Ford who came up with it. Clowney forced it out. Poona Ford recovered.
Just look at the power. We talk about his athletic ability, but Jadeveon Clowney just walked number 69, Mike McGlinchey, all the way back. Just watch him get underneath. Watch him and just to extend the arms and just lock McGlinchey out. He has been a one-man wrecking crew tonight. Sacks, pressure. This is the Jadeveon Clowney they traded for, and he's showing up in a big-time game.
And that guy, Mike McGlinchey, is back after missing 4 games. He had arthroscopic surgery on a torn meniscus. Last year, he was the rookie who came in and started all 16 games. This year, teamed up with Stale in the bookend. Then both guys missed time, and now they have him back. But Clowney is playing in rare form tonight. So Seattle going to go straight ahead with Carson. Lisa.
What's funny, guys, is earlier this week I was talking to Jadeveon Clowney about how he thinks he's played so far this season. He says, I'm upset. It hasn't been good enough for me because I've been doing okay, but okay isn't good enough for me. Only 2 sacks. I'm putting pressure on the quarterback, but for me, it's just not enough. He's putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback tonight, guys. I think he'd probably be pretty happy with how he's doing.
They're thrilled with the result moments ago. 2nd and 6 here at the 20. They fake the pitch. They come back on the shallow drag with Hollister again. And he has a first down. We'll see the market on the 10 here. But a 10-yard reception from Hollister, who just had the touchdown moments ago. The go-ahead touchdown after the game winner he had last week in overtime.
Offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer is putting on a clinic right now. He knows that he's at a mismatch with the defensive line against his O-line. So what is he doing? Short, quick passes, misdirection. I'm going to fake the toss, get Russell Wilson outside the pocket. He's doing a masterful job right now against this defense.
Key word, and he said it to us, variety.
Yes, absolutely.
That's how you deal with the pass rush and the defensive line when they're this good. Give them a little bit of everything. And now they give him this. Carson, as they're going to mark him just short. 9 yards and a little bit for Carson as he reached out to try to break that goal line.
Really tight with that elbow, and where's the ball?
Yeah, they marked him a little short. And I think Pete's going to try to challenge. He calls running down, calling timeout.
Timeout. Seattle.
The body control is incredible here, John.
You know, based on the line feed, though, when you do freeze that right elbow, that ball is about 3 yards short. Solid spot based on what we're looking here. Watch this right elbow. Just shy, just shy.
I think the tricep makes contact first, and there you see it. Oh, boy, that is a great spot.
Yeah,
to make that spot in real time.
You know what? Again, 2 or 3 really good jobs as far as officiating tonight. Alex Kemp and his crew. Officiating's been under the gun. Let's take a moment tonight and just recognize some of these spots, some of these calls rock solid.
Absolutely. They've been doing a really good job tonight, JP.
They go with the jumbo package, and that means big number 74, George Fant, comes in. Remember, they're down tight ends as it is. Carson straight ahead. Over Upati, the left guard, and in. And Clowney delivers to the offense, and the offense delivers to the scoreboard.
Watch the interior push. Number 70, Mike Upati. Number 53, Hunt. 76, Brown. Just coming off, controlling the line of scrimmage. Anytime the left guard scores, normally the running back does also.
Remember, this game was 10-zip 49ers. They were rolling in the first quarter, but Pete Carroll prides himself in this Seattle Seahawks culture at playing their best ball when it matters most, November and December.
It's how they're built, and they start this in the spring when they get together. They build toward November. They build toward December. It's a competitive environment. They compete every day at practice, and he always talks about playing the best guy. And it's how they practice. It's how they play. And it's all designed to get the best out of every player at the most opportune time, and usually that's late in the season. And you've seen it tonight. They didn't play well early on, but they didn't give in. They just kept coming and coming. And then all of a sudden, the defensive line, Jaron Reed and Jadeveon Clowney, started to take over the game. And anytime you get the 49ers into a situation where they have to drop back and throw the football, they're at a disadvantage. And right now, the Seattle defense has taken this game over.
21 points off of 3 San Francisco turnovers. You had the scoop and score by Clowney. Reed had that tremendous forced fumble. And then Diggs had the interception return that led to Hollister, and then Poona Ford with the fumble recovery and momentum for the Seahawks. Meanwhile, Deshaun Watson and the rest of the NFL watching this Mega Monday showdown, and he says, "I see you, Clowney." And this is what Deshaun saw.
I mean, he's just taking McGlinchey and he's just walking him back. That's just creating a play. And Clowney has been a playmaker his entire career. It looks different, but boy, does he make a ton of plays.
And Garoppolo, see if they can settle down and get things going offensively as he finds Kendrick Bourne. That goes for 7 yards there.
And so now we're going to find out what the rest of the league wants to know. Is when you take the running game away and you force number 10 to throw the football, can he do it? We're going to find out right now as we get late in the third quarter. It's going to be tough to run the football. They're taking it away. Can Jimmy G win the game when it's on him?
And look, can he win the game without George Kittle and Emmanuel Sanders? Second and 2, I formation with Breida and Juszczyk. On the run behind Juszczyk, and Breida will lower that shoulder, and he's going to be marked maybe a half a yard short of that line to make. It'll be third down there.
The way Seattle is playing, it's going to be tough to run the football. They have 8 and 9 guys around the line of scrimmage. They're going to turn this game into a Jimmy Garoppolo game. An important note, before Emmanuel Sanders went out, Jimmy Garoppolo was 10 of 15 for 115 and a touchdown. Since the Emmanuel Sanders injury,
yes,
he's 5 for 11, 44 yards with 3 turnovers. The game changed without his number 1 receiver.
Yeah, you take out a number 1 receiver and you already don't have the all-pro tight end, and this is what you're left with. Third down and 1. As they just push ahead for a first down. And as the final seconds run down here in this third quarter, a third quarter where the script was flipped and it went to the Pacific Northwest, where you could probably hear the echoes of the roar coming from Seattle fans right now. 21-10, the 49ers, the lone remaining unbeatens. Can they stay that way? Fourth quarter coming up. 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan and his quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, who has only thrown 5 passes when trailing in the fourth quarter this entire season. An 11-point deficit. That's the largest that the undefeated 49ers have faced this year. 21-10. Seattle looking for the upset of the unbeaten Niners as we start the fourth quarter. Garoppolo on a slant. It was bobbled and then broken up as Samuel couldn't hold on to it, and Quandre Diggs, who is having a nice debut for the Seahawks, makes the play.
Well, this one's not on Jimmy Garoppolo. It's an RPO, and Jimmy reads it perfectly and puts it right. The ball gets to Deebo Samuel's chest. Normally you want to pluck it with your hands. He doesn't do that, and ball bounces off. But that's a nice throw by Jimmy Garoppolo.
Second and 10 now. He got tripped up and just rolls his way back to the line of scrimmage, but will mark him a yard back. So a big third down, third and long for Kyle Shanahan as he buries that head into the call sheet.
Well, and right now Jimmy G's got to step up. He's got to make a throw. You got Ziggy Ansah, you got Jadeveon Clown in the game. They're having their way right now, rushing the passer against this 49er offensive line.
Fourth time tonight that the 49ers have been 3rd and 10 plus. What can Garoppolo come up with? Doesn't come up with anything there. Instead, it was Jamar Taylor who got a piece of it, drifting back into coverage.
Seattle did a very nice job there in zone coverage. And Taylor, as long as Jimmy's holding the ball, Taylor's doing a really nice job of just drifting back, and making sure he stays underneath Bourne. You don't want to bite on any cheese up front. Stay back and just gets enough on that ball. That's a nice play by Taylor in zone coverage.
When they say a game of inches, Exhibit A, Jamar Taylor and that fingertip. The other Aussie punter, Wisnowski, puts it inside the 10, and then it goes into the end zone. Well, yesterday, as part of the NFL Salute to Service, the 49ers welcomed 27 military families to their training facility. Players, this was great because they were assigned a family and gave each side the ability to know the other. Gold Star, active duty, veteran families also in attendance tonight here, and they helped with the flag during the national anthem. Yes. Celebrate Veterans Day. So grateful. Thank all who have served. Pat, you know who I want to thank is U.S. Navy Master at Arms First Class Pasquale Miranda, my cousin who I was inseparable with growing up in Schenectady, New York. I became the idiot on TV. He's the hero serving our country, and I'm so thankful and proud of Pat every day of my life.
That's well said, Tess. Well said.
Here's Russell. Tucks and runs and slides near the 25. 6 yards there. And Thomas is down. Solomon Thomas, former number 3 overall pick in 2017. Look at the end of this play here with Russell as he's trying to hold on to the ball. Ball came loose as he was going down the slide. So Thomas, the concern now with the medical staff of San Francisco. And with that, we will take a break here. 21-10 Seattle. Air Force Band of the Golden West Mobility Ensemble performing the Monday Night Football theme. What a great job they did. They were also out here entertaining the crowd earlier tonight on Veterans Day.
Here's the challenge now. Jaron Reed and Jadeveon Clowney has taken over this game for the Seattle defensive line. Who on the 49ers defensive line is going to step up and make a play?
2nd and 4. Carson gets around the edge and then slides just to the inside of Greenlaw, who came up with the tackle, but 6 yards from Chris Carson.
It's a nice job by offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer. He's going to pull both the guard and tackle that way and hand it off to Carson going the other way. Little misdirection. That's what you have to do with a fast-flowing defense. Little misdirection, make them go one way, you go back the other way. Nice job by Schottenheimer.
Jumbo look again with Fant in the game. See big 74 on the right side of that line. As they'll keep it on the ground and slashing through is Carson for 3 yards. Under 13 minutes here. That nice, pretty 8-0 you see next to the San Francisco logo. That is being threatened here by Seattle.
Well, it's in jeopardy. And this is a Seattle game. They've done a nice job early on staying in this ball game. And now, defensive coordinator Robert Saleh has got to push the issue. You got to start to bring a little pressure to try to force to get a turnover so you can get your offense the ball back. Because Seattle, they're clearly capable of just lining up and pounding this ball at you.
Play action off of this on 2nd and 7, and they get to him, and they do so by bringing Williams, and then the ball comes out. And picking it up is Buckner. And we've got a San Francisco touchdown. DeForest Buckner. Great football awareness.
And just like we talked about, defensive coordinator Robert Saleh has to force the issue. He brought number 24, K'Wan Williams, off the slot. He got to Russell Wilson, creating a turnover. But that's all set up by the aggressiveness of Robert Saleh pushing the issue, realizing that his team needed a play, and K'Wan Williams made it.
Incredible. This game has been outrageous when it comes to the big moments with the turnovers. (21-16) as it stands right now, as they want to close it to just a field goal margin. So here's the 2-point attempt. Garoppolo with time to the end zone, and they get it. Kendrick Bourne. And we have a 3-point game by way of DeForest Buckner's touchdown.
It's a good job. It's a simple little square in. 84 Bourne pushes up and just comes straight down the line. Notice he didn't go upfield. He just came straight down the line. And defensive lineman Preston Buckner says, you know what? DeForest Buckner says, hey, it's on me now. I'm making a play for my team. Clowney, if you can score, so can I.
Pete Carroll, his offense this year, they've given up 4 touchdowns. The offense has given up 4 touchdowns. 1 interception return, and now 3 on opponents with fumble returns. And DeForest Buckner, the 12-yard fumble return, and it is 21-18. Seattle had all that momentum, and they were running the ball. And then this defensive front delivers. Diamond Producers Association, the total replay.
Let's watch number 24, K'Wan Williams. He's going to come on a blitz. When he comes off the edge, he beats the tailback and now starts to force the issue. But notice number 65, the tackle, Jermaine Ifedi, pulls the ball out of Russell Wilson. Then he fumbles. And number 99, DeForest Buckner, picks it up. Look at Ifedi. Ifedi actually pulls it out.
Well, the ball was bobbled. The ball was coming loose. He gets his hands on it, right?
His hands on it, and then DeForest Buckner scoops it up. That's a nice job by defensive coordinator Robert Saleh, forcing the issue, and K'Wan Williams making a play.
Now, I don't even know how Russell Wilson is hearing anything as he gets it out to Hollister, because Levi Stadium is roaring at a level that is seldom heard in a place that has been panned through the years a little bit for the atmosphere and the environment down here in Santa Clara. Not any longer. It is loud, it is intense, and it has a game tonight that is being played at a different level. Second and 5. Carson alone back. Hollister in motion over to the right, and they'll run behind that strong side as Carson will make it out for 2 yards there as D. Ford makes the tackle. Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator. Remember, the former assistant for Pete Carroll. We had a conversation last night. We said he gives you so much credit for the man and coach he's become. And Coach Carroll stops and says, yeah, and I want to kick his butt tomorrow night. Well, they're going back and forth, aren't they? And it's a thriller here at Levi Stadium.
And the 49ers have all their pass rushers in. Bosa, Buckner.
Third down and 3.
And 4.
Play clock was running down. And with it, Russell Wilson is going to utilize a timeout.
This is a 30-second timeout.
That 49ers defense tonight. And what that unit has done all year, and then what they have done tonight. 4 sacks, 3 takeaways, and moments ago, getting the Niners right back in this game with a touchdown score.
And just understanding timing. When it's time to make a play. The offense is struggling, much like Seattle's defense did a really nice job getting them back in the game. You kind of had the feeling it was time for this 49ers defense to make a play, and boy, did they.
You know, you brought up the point that you can send 4 a lot, but they've blitzed 10 times tonight and come up with those 4 sacks. They're mixing it up with what they're doing.
Breaking tendencies.
Yep. Good self-scouting. They had the mini break because they played the Thursday game, and they really went after it, getting ready for this Seattle game. But remember, Seahawks have the lead here. And they don't get it on 3rd down. They're going to be walking off the field, and it's Richard Sherman, the former Seattle star, in coverage.
What a play by Sherman. He gets his hands on DK Metcalf, who's a big physical specimen. But watch Sherman come across the back there with the left hand. He's still one of the best in the NFL, making a play when the 49ers need it. Now, Uncle Mo has shifted back, and it's all on the 49ers side.
Dixon on to punt here. 10.5 minutes to play. Richie James back to return for the Niners. James met right away. That was Nico Thorpe, and a flag comes in. After that 52-yard punt from Dixon. Thorpe didn't waste any time making contact with James.
You know, they're discussing. Now remember, he's a defenseless player, so his head and neck.
Personal foul. Kicking team number 23. 15-yard penalty. First down, 49ers.
Head and neck is protected on a kick as a defenseless player. Number 23 does come in, and it does appear as if he delivers a forcible contact to that head and neck area.
So Sherm just made the play moments ago. And now Jimmy Garoppolo will get his opportunity. Look at the difference from first half to second half once Emmanuel Sanders left the game. Coleman, as he is met and wrestled back by Bobby Wagner. Only 3 yards there. Bobby Wagner is rearing the Monday Night Mike.
Let's go. Y'all gotta love this. Let's go. Defensive game. We come out on top. Let's go. Mind right. Get your mind right. DO3. 1, 2, 3.
Defensive game, he says. Jadeveon Clowney had a fumble return for a touchdown. DeForest Buckner on the other side had a fumble return for a touchdown. The defensive stars have been the stars on the marquee tonight. 2nd and 7. Play action. Garoppolo in rhythm, midfield. Deebo Samuel and more. Look at him still fighting for extra yardage. And how emotional the rookie is. 24-yard reception, Deebo.
I want you to watch all these guys up here. It's the power of just the play action. Now Jimmy G drops back, and just look at all the real estate he has to come inside here. That's all set up because Seattle is committing so many people to stop the run. It's an easy pitch and catch there for Garoppolo and Deebo Samuel.
Mostert with a rare carry, and it's a good one. As Raheem Mostert goes ahead for 8 yards here. And Deebo Samuel gets that big play moments ago. His first 100-yard receiving game of his career, and it comes in this spotlight platform. Kyle Shanahan, the 39-year-old offensive master, and Pete Carroll, the 68-year-old Super Bowl champion, the oldest head coach in the NFL. Mostert remains in here, 2nd and 2. Play action as he goes to Dwelly, the tight end, who starts in place of the injured George Kittle. And it's another first down for the Niners. 10 yards there from Ross Dwelly. And look at Kittle. Kittle's loving it upstairs.
It's just how you run the football. They're going to come out and the play action. Now, look at the entire defense is this way. He comes out, and that is easy pickings. Seattle is committing. They're committing so many guys. We keep talking about it, but they are determined to stop this run. And Kyle is doing a masterful job of using the play fakes to get easy open receivers.
Mostert again. Good energy now from this offensive line from San Francisco. I love the reaction from Deebo Samuel. I love the energy from George Kittle. I mean, you can feel it here in this place right now.
Well, as a competitor, you want to be tested. Everyone is saying, you know what, this team is not for real. We're undefeated. Who have you played as George Kittle? Like, he's dying to be out there right now.
He can't sit back in the suite. He's up against the glass. Like, you can't even contain him right now. He's so into this. And by the way, KJ Wright, at the end of that play, is down on the field. And as you see him on his knees there, veteran linebacker. He's one of the guys that's been trying to fire up this defense. Very outspoken about some of the underwhelming performances prior to tonight. And he has that kind of voice in this locker room where he can say, hey, it's been all 11 guys, not pointing fingers. It's been across the board. But tonight, they have stepped up. Clowney's been a big part of it. And Wright has always been steady throughout his production for the years with Seattle.
It's been a game of momentum shift. You know, Clowney and Reed make the play for Seattle. Then K'Wan Williams and Buckner make a play for the 49ers. And now the 49ers have it rolling. Who's going to step up and make a play for the Seattle defense?
2nd and 3. Garoppolo pulls, and then he's pulled down. That was Al Woods, who didn't bite on it. Clowney was the first to pass by, and then big Al Woods, you see him flexing at 330 pounds.
Woods may have made the play, but watch number 90, Jadeveon Clowney. He gets up, Jimmy's ready to throw it right there. But because Clowney is in the way, Jimmy G can't get it off. Just his playmaking ability. Again, he doesn't get a sack there. That's no sack, but he destroyed that play. Just one of the ultimate playmakers in our league, both run and pass. He doesn't get enough credit.
A season high 8 quarterback pressures tonight. 8. 3rd down and 8. And almost intercepted. That was Trey Flowers juggling down to the turf. And Ken Norton, the defensive coordinator, was saying, almost, we were so close.
I can't help but think, as Bourne drops that one, if that were Emmanuel Sanders. Remember, Emmanuel Sanders is out of this game. That play surely would have been thrown up for Emmanuel Sanders as Bourne drops another one, his 2nd drop.
So remember, the rookie free agent kicker, Chase McLaughlin, who was just signed. Robbie Gould, a veteran place kicker, had an injury in practice last week. So here comes McLaughlin off the street. And right through to tie it up. Pressure, what pressure? Robbie Gould playing coach this week, and we've got ourselves a tie game. Exceeding expectations, isn't it? The much-hyped showdown. 21-21. Coverage brought to you by Goodyear. 21 apiece here on Monday Night Football. Joe Tessitore, Booger McFarland, Lisa Salters, and our officiating analyst John Perry with you here as the 49ers have 11 unanswered fourth quarter points. Buckner, the big defensive lineman, had the fumble return. They had the two-point conversion to Kendrick Bourne. And then the rookie kicker signed off the street. McLaughlin just hit a 39-yard field goal in a game that is so important when you size up the NFC book.
Without a doubt, because if Seattle has any chance of catching the 49ers, they need this game. And if you're the 49ers, everyone around the league is doubting that, at the end of your record, it's a perfect opportunity right now to show them, not in full strength, no George Kittle, Emmanuel Sanders out, that you can win a tough, physical division game. Here's what's going to be key for the 49ers. Can they contain Russell Wilson? Wilson has hurt them tonight, extending plays, holding the football. It's up to this 49ers defensive line to keep Russell Wilson in the pocket.
Quickly gets it to the outside to Lockett, and Lockett is eventually met that time by Williams and Ward after an 8-yard reception. Remember, Russell Wilson always talks about visualizing successes. Williams is slow to get up there. He said, you know, I see this game. We asked him yesterday, he said, Russell, you always talk about visualization. What do you see here? He said, I see this game coming down to the wire. He said, when we look forward to that, we embrace that. He talked about the fact that they've had those kind of games, and the 49ers, they feel, haven't. And he said, when those times come around, we'll make the big plays.
He feels very comfortable in those moments, Tess, because he's been there. He's played in Super Bowls. He's played in big games. He's been there and he's done that. And the visualization that you're speaking of is just so he can clear his head. He understands how the game is going to unfold. And when your leader is calm, everyone else around you, they're calm.
Now, over the span of his career, nobody in the NFL has more fourth quarter touchdown passes. He has 73. The next closest is Breeze at 66 in that span. And you see what he's been able to do with game-winning drives late, fourth quarter overtime. And now a tie game as we're on the threshold of 6 minutes remaining in regulation. And as Carson is met, tries to get a little more, and then Bosa pulls him back. The rookie sensation, number 2 overall pick, and Buckner was the first to get to him. This is such a physical battle. Looks like Tart was reaching down towards his left hand there.
I mean, this is so fun, though. You got two teams that know each other so well. You got Kyle Shanahan, Pete Carroll, Schottenheimer, Robert Salah. Just these great defensive minds battling each other.
3rd down and 1. Carson on 3rd and 1, and he gets free and was tripped up, but not before getting ahead of that marker in the line to make, and they will move the chains as that clock ticks down under 5 minutes in this tied game.
It's a really nice job by Carson. The 49ers haven't stopped, but it's just that second effort, running physical. You know, he told us early on in his Oklahoma State career, he wanted to be like Barry Sanders and bounce everything, but now he learned to run more physical, and it paid off right there.
Likes to lower the shoulder, look for contact. K'Wan Williams left moments ago. He has returned here defensively for the 49ers. Fresh set of downs, 4.5 minutes to play. As here's Hollister again, and Hollister with a good burst that time once he got the ball into his hands. Remember, Hollister had the touchdown in the 3rd quarter that gave Seattle the lead at 14-10.
Hollister coming across the formation, but it's just a good play call. Again, more misdirection by Brian Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator, using the fast-flowing speed of the 49ers defense against them. Flow one way, bring Hollister back the other.
And with that, Schottenheimer, with that play call to Hollister, a career-high 6 catches for Jacob Hollister. From the practice squad to now in the lineup and being productive. Wilson keeping it alive, and now tucking and running and getting past midfield as he saw big Ronald Blair coming from behind. This is exactly what Russell does at times like this.
He's been doing it forever, just holding the ball 5, 6, 7 seconds. It's tough on a defense. When the quarterback is holding the football this long, I don't care if you got Deion Sanders back there, it's hard to cover that long, allowing his guys to find a way to uncover, and Russell normally makes a play. I think he's the most clutch quarterback in our league right now, and he has an opportunity to show America here again tonight.
Well, against the best defense in the NFL this season. Let's see if he can do that. 2nd and 5, here's the boot. Nowhere to go. What a great job by Blair staying with it. That's a loss of 1. Hustle play by Ronald Blair. And it is Blair who is still down at the end of it.
I mean, but watch Blair. It's a 270-pound defensive end. Russell has the angle, but Blair just ran him down. No face mask there. He grabbed the jersey.
Just think of the depth of talent.
Yeah.
You see him grabbing at that right leg, but just the talent that they have on this defensive line, that you can have that first wave with Nick Bosa and D Ford and Buckner, Armstead, and then guys like Ronald Blair, who, you know, he came in tonight with 3 sacks and 7 hurries.
The depth of that defensive line allows them, hey, if you're tired, come out, because we're going to put a guy who is able to pressure the quarterback and able to play at a high level. It just gives you so much flexibility. And Blair, just an outstanding effort play there, because Russell Wilson beats most people to the corner.
No doubt.
Couldn't beat Blair, though.
Three and a half minutes to play. And we're sitting here at 21-21 in one of the best combined winning percentage games. You think of a matchup and you say, all right, one record here, one record there, but this deep into the season on Monday Night Football, to have a team at 8-0 and a team at 7-2, the best all-time matchup this deep in the season also included the 49ers. Back in 1990, it was the 10-1 Giants against the 10-1 Niners, and they won that game. The Niners won that game 7-3. And here we are with number 3 on the list in terms of best combined winning percentage. Number 2, last year's game of the year, the Chiefs and the Rams, when they were both 9-1. And that thing was 54-51.
A little bit more defense being played, partner, tonight. And it's a huge 3rd down right now. And anytime that the 49ers have wanted to force the issue a little bit, they brought pressure. Do they bring pressure here, or do they say, you know what, we got 5 first-round picks on our defensive line. One of you guys make a play.
And believe it or not, at 3rd and 6, this is the longest 3rd down that the Seahawks have faced tonight, and it's a critical one. Clock running towards 3 minutes, a 3rd and 6 tie game.
There's Bosa over the center.
And here's Russell Wilson. And he gets the strike to Josh Gordon. Patriots waved him goodbye. Seattle said, come aboard. And 13 yards later, it's a 1st down Seahawks.
Just a real good route. He comes off, stems Emmanuel Mosley at the top, and just comes inside. And you realize Gordon is 6'3", 215, 220 pounds. Just a big body and a big target for Russell Wilson on a critical down.
So there is the first catch as a Seahawk for Josh Gordon. Now down to the 36-yard line. And Carson will look to get him closer to position here as we come towards the 2-minute warning. 4-yard run for Carson there. Ball on the 32. Tie game. Russell Wilson said, I see it coming down to the wire, and we will look forward to that. Seattle is marching in position to try to go ahead. 2-minute warning. The drama continues when we return to Monday Night Football. This may come down to Seattle kicker Jason Myers. You see on the year he's 12 of 17, and it could be redemption. Last week when they had that nail-biter against Tampa, this was the end of regulation. The should have been, could have been game winner, but he slides it off to the right. He missed a 40-yarder, missed a couple of field goals, missed an extra point last week, but Russell Wilson made up for it by getting the game winner in overtime with the touchdown. Now, here we are coming out of the 2-minute warning, and it's a 2nd and 6 with the ball on the San Francisco 32. The Niners trying to stay unbeaten. The MVP frontrunner, Russell Wilson, trying to score the signature win. Chris Carson able to break through that first wave for 5 yards. The 3rd and 1 yard from there. Seattle took over on their own 25 with 6:17 left in this game. And this will be the 10th play coming as San Francisco smartly chooses to use a timeout. 1:55 remaining. They'll have 2 in the bag, and it's a 3rd and 1. Of course, last week they went to overtime against Tampa. Wilson put on an absolute show. This was the big play to Metcalf, and then the game winner to Hollister, as Russell Wilson had 5 touchdowns last week, and the game winner in overtime. 3rd and 1.
And this is the biggest play of the game right now. If they get the first down, the 49ers only have 2 timeouts. Seattle can pretty much bleed the clock down and set up for a field goal.
Let's see if they can. Carson in the backfield with Wilson. 3rd and 1. Carson. Great job by that defensive front. As they get the stop. And they'll use the timeout, obviously.
It's a good job by that defensive front, selling out. That was the play of the game right there. Now it's 4th down. If you're Seattle, I think you got to kick the field goal in the go-ahead 3. I think you have to, although Pete Carroll and Shoddy and Russell Wilson looks like they're having a conversation to see, hey, you want to go for this? It's 4th and a long yard. And I think they're going to go for, here comes Russell Wilson. I would kick the field goal here. To me, it's a tie ball game, 21-21. You kick the field goal, and you turn it over to your defense.
It would be a 46-yard field goal from a guy who was a Pro Bowl kicker a year ago and just came off a bad week.
But even then, I have to kick this field goal and go up. Maybe they draw him offside or try to.
Let's see if that's the plan. 4th down and 2 as they line up over it. And a timeout indeed will be used by Seattle.
Yeah, Pete's trying to figure it out. I just think you got to kick the field goal. I mean, your team is battled all night long. You kick the field goal, you go up 3, you try to play defense.
This division that is just loaded up top. I mean, you got the defending NFC champion, the Rams there, sitting there in 3rd place in the NFC West as this ascendant Seattle team with an MVP candidate in Russell Wilson, and then the last remaining unbeaten team with the 49ers. And here they are, throwing haymakers all night long at each other, back and forth.
And Pete Carroll makes the right decision. I completely agree with the move now, Pete. Hey, your team has battled all night long. I mean, it's a 27-17. What is this, a 44, 45-yard
46-yard attempt. 46-yard attempt for the lead here from Jason Myers, who missed a 40-yarder would-be game winner at the end of regulation last week. And the Seahawks take the lead with 1:45 remaining. San Francisco will have 1 timeout to work with, and Jimmy Garoppolo will get his chance. Snap, hold, and through for Myers. Good rotation, good stroke. And did he ever need that after such a difficult week last week? And Carroll believed in him. Earlier this week, he was questioned, and he said Jason Myers simply is our kicker. Remember, they went out and signed him in free agency. The Jets let him walk after a Pro Bowl season last year. He was 33 of 36 with the Jets last year, and they let him walk. Goes to Seattle. Some early season struggles, but here in a big spot, he comes up even bigger.
And that's a confidence builder. That's your head coach. I know Pete was thinking about going for it. But he called timeout, and he put confidence in his kicker and said, you know what, I'm going to put the game in your hands, and he delivered. That is a nice job. That'll pay dividends down the road with your kicker.
And here is Richie James on the return, as James wrestles his way for a 22-yard return. So Jimmy Garoppolo comes out with the moment that perhaps he's been waiting for. Defense has been doing it. Last week he had the 4 touchdowns, and now trailing and trying to stay unbeaten at this point of the season.
Here's the way I look at it. Division rival, no Kittles, no Sanders. Not time to run the football. It's all on Jimmy Garoppolo, and the entire NFL has been waiting to see this.
Here's the test. Empty set as Coleman splits out. 4-man rush, should have been intercepted. KJ Wright could have closed the door right there.
Jimmy G is feeling the pressure in the pocket. Jadeveon Clowney just ran Joe Staley completely over. And just an ill-advised throw by Jimmy Garoppolo. Just ill-advised. He's got a receiver open underneath.
Coleman's in the backfield with him. Second down. And that was thrown high of Dwelly. So it'll be third down with 1:31 remaining for Shanahan and the hopes for the 49ers.
So far, Jimmy Garoppolo just looks a little unnerved in this moment. It's a big third down here. It's up to Kyle Shanahan to call a play. I'd call a play for Deebo Samuel. He's been your most dependable guy now that Emmanuel Sanders is gone. Call a play for number 19, Deebo Samuel.
It's all-pro tight end George Kittle up in the box looking on nervously. Third down and 10. Oh, you saw the movement coming across the line on the bottom of your screen with Ziggy Ansah.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 94. 5-yard penalty. Remains third down.
Ansah, his first year in Seattle for spending time in Detroit, and an error here. Been a little anxious against McGlinchey. Third down and 5 now after the penalty. Third and 5. Garoppolo gets it out quickly, and reaching for that line to make is Ross Dwelly, who starts in place of George Kittle. He has played a big role in recent weeks, filling in at fullback and now filling in at tight end. Quickly to the line. Garoppolo steps up, and that could have been intercepted by Wagner, and it falls incomplete. Minute 10 remaining, 1 timeout.
Jimmy Garoppolo is panicking in the pocket. He's throwing off his back foot. He's throwing straight to Seattle defenders. Seattle's doing a good job playing zone coverage. And Jimmy's just panicking, just throws it up there. He's got to calm down. Allow the receivers to get through and read your progressions, because right now he is panicking in the pocket.
Second down. Minute 10 to play. Goes underneath to Coleman, who tries to turn the corner. He does successfully for a first down, and then lunges ahead out past midfield. Clock is running now under a minute. 16-yard completion there. 1 timeout in the back for Garoppolo and Shanahan.
There's plenty of time left. You got 1 timeout. Set everybody up. You don't need to clock it.
Garoppolo setting up the screen this time to Coleman. Blockers in front. Patiently waited and then finally taken down by Jaron Reed. 6 yards there, and keep in mind, Robbie Gould, the veteran kicker, injured. He's out. They went out, signed the rookie Chase McLaughlin, who had played a little bit for the Chargers as a fill-in. He's a rookie out of Illinois, was signed this past week. 2nd and 4. Garoppolo to the near side this time, and it's a first down to Coleman, but they got to use the timeout as only 18 seconds remain. And the ball is get the timeout here. Coleman, let's see here as he tries to stretch for that white line. And came up about a yard short.
That's a good
with that
job.
Ball in the right hand.
That's a good job by KJ Wright, realizing where he's trying to go and making that tackle inbound. And that's huge because you forced the 49ers to use that last timeout, and now you have 18 seconds left.
37-yard line.
At the 37-yard
So
line.
it'll be a 55-yard attempt from there. And going in this direction, McLaughlin in warm-ups hit from 57. He has a long of 50 in his NFL career, and he has multiple 50-yarders in his college career at Illinois. Garoppolo. Got to be careful with the clock here. Samuel, as he gets inside the 30. 11 seconds. They have to clock it. 9 seconds. 7 seconds. And there they do it. So now the script has been written for the rookie Chase McLaughlin. This was McLaughlin in pregame, showing the 57-yarder heading in that direction. This is a young man who signed with the Bills, was cut, spent a cup of coffee with the Vikings, filled in with the Chargers, and then on short notice comes here to San Francisco, and now a 47-yarder to tie it. 6 ticks remain. Pressure on the rookie. And boy, oh boy, does he deliver! Well-earned smile. Chase McLaughlin. A 47-yard pressure kick, and he puts it right down the middle. Does that feel good? Young man who grew up in Houston, Texas, watching that guy, Robbie Gould, for years in the league. Shanahan said, I don't even know what to tell you about this kid. I'll tell you what, he likes the pressure, and Garoppolo put him in position.
Well, it's a nice job by Garoppolo during that drive, settling down. He almost threw 2 interceptions early in the drive, but he settled down and took what the defense gave him to check down. Throwing one to Coleman really settled him down, and it was a nice drive from there. But early on, it looked a little erratic.
And now just the squib kick here with a second remaining before we head to overtime. Well, all week long we heard, well, this is the game of the year on paper. We got 8-0.
Yeah.
We got 7-2. We got a nasty division rivalry. We got the best defense in the NFL against the guy who most had coming in as the midseason MVP choice. We got a former Seahawk who's got a little bite to him when you talk about his time there. So John Perry, we're headed to overtime, my man.
Yeah, we're going to extend it 1 period, 10 minutes. Each team will have an opportunity to possess this football. Anything that needs to take a second look with replay, it'll be coming from upstairs. 2 timeouts each team.
And isn't it fitting? Look at those two.
Okay, in the regular season, we play 1 overtime period of up to 10 minutes, where each of you are going to have a chance to possess the ball, unless somebody scores a touchdown or a safety. Each team's going to have 2 timeouts. 4th quarter timing rules apply, and all replays will come from upstairs. No coaches' challenges, okay? We're going to flip a silver dollar. That's the head. That's the tail. Seattle, what's your call? Your call is heads.
Geno Smith makes the call.
It is a head. You won the toss. You want the ball. Which way you want to kick? Okay.
Seattle's going to take the ball. We're going to take a quick break, and then we've got overtime when we return to Monday Night Football. 49ers 8-0 for the 3rd time in their grand history, but Seattle is threatening that all night long. And they put pressure on them late, and the Niners answered as Jimmy Garoppolo brought them down the field And then they trotted out Chase McLaughlin for a 47-yarder with a second remaining. And now Russell Wilson and the Seahawks will get the ball to begin overtime. Joe Tessitore, Booger McFarland, Lisa Salters, and our officiating analyst John Perry with you on a great way to spend Veterans Day night here with an NFL showdown. Let's check in with Lisa.
So fitting that it's come down to this, guys. Overtime with the defenses figuring so prominently. Richard Sherman going up against his old team. He said that it's just another game, but you know he has to feel some kind of way about it. The Seahawks coming in here, San Francisco undefeated, the #1 total defense. Russell Wilson said he knows how good Sherm is. He isn't going to throw his way too many times, and he hasn't. Linebacker Bobby Wagner has said, look, we try to approach every game the same, but it's going against Sherm. I see him all off season. I do not want to hear his mouth all summer.
Yeah. Sherm can talk with the best of them. Can you imagine what he'd be saying if they pull this out? But for right now, that San Francisco defense has business in front of them with Russell Wilson and Carson. And here is Turner, as Turner fights for extra yardage beyond the 30 as he's wrestled down by Williams. That was 7 yards there for Malik Turner. We go to an undrafted free agent with only 9 career catches in a spot like that. First play of overtime.
Well, it's just part of the plan that Brian Schottenheimer has. Quick passes, getting the ball out of Russell's hands, not allowing him to hold the ball to allow this defensive line to tee off. It's been a great game plan by Brian Schottenheimer.
2nd and 3. Wilson downfield, trying to connect with Metcalf. But that was broken up that time by Emmanuel Mosley. Mosley in for the injured Witherspoon, and he's done a good job starting in place of him this season.
It's a really nice job by Mosley. He didn't turn around, but he played through the receiver's hands. When Metcalf went to catch the football, then he played through the hands and knocked it out.
Mosley only had 45 snaps of experience when he got the knock on the door to start a Monday Night Football against Odell Beckham Jr., and then he's been in there throughout. 3rd down and 3. Carson in the backfield with Wilson.
This could be Josh Gordon time. There's Josh Gordon up at the top of the screen.
3rd down. Does Russ have it in him? Yes, in stride of Gordon, as you said, Boog. 15 yards to Josh Gordon and a 1st down for Seattle.
That's twice. Remember, at the end of regulation, crucial 3rd down, they went to Gordon. This time now in overtime. Crucial situations, you have a big-time receiver, and Russell Wilson is feeding Josh Gordon in the clutch moments.
As he goes Carson's way, but it goes incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Ball on the 46-yard line. Interesting here to not see Tyler Lockett in the game. Their best offensive dynamic playmaker on the perimeter. Instead, they go with Turner and Gordon and Metcalf. And they're down to 1 tight end. That's healthy, and that's Hollister. 2nd and 10. Russell Wilson scrambling, and then he is met but gets free somehow. Eric Armstead had him every which way.
I mean, Russell, it's just a good job by the defensive line, just staying alive. But I think they're going to call him down back at the point.
Let's see.
Yeah, he's got him in the grasp. Judgment call, total judgment. There'll be some that don't like it, but with both hands on the quarterback and another defender coming in to potentially hit him.
They called that in the grasp for a 3rd and 16?
Wow.
Wow. 3rd and 16 after that. Wilson all the way back to the 25. And then downfield and gets it. Turner, who shakes free, spins again. My, oh my, Russell Wilson.
The most clutch quarterback in our league at the moment makes a play all on his own. Ford loses contain. Wilson gets outside. And once he gets outside, the scramble rules take into effect. And number 17, Turner, starts to work away, and Wilson finds him. But that was all set up. D Ford lost contain, and Russell Wilson made him pay.
28 yards on 3rd and 16. Signature stuff from Russell Wilson.
The previous play is under review.
What are they looking at here, John?
I don't know. We're going to take a look. Catch, maybe feet, might be field position with a foot being in or out of bounds, knowing that the field goal is so important.
Let's watch the end of the play. Remember, this is Turner here as he made that turn. You see him drive that right foot just inside the sideline. Then he spun one more time to try to get extra yardage. There's marker cam. That's always right on top of it. Gives you a great look. And there's that right leg drive. You can clearly see green between the shoe and the white boundary.
Yeah, and if that is what they're looking at, it is purely based on field position, the importance of it at this point.
Here's Alex Kemp.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
Lisa, what's the injury update we need to know?
Tyler Lockett, as you said, not in the game. They're calling it a lower left leg injury. Right now they're saying he's questionable, but I'm standing right next to him. He's on the bench without his helmet. Does not look like he's going back in.
So they've been turning to Malik Turner in his second year, who only had 9 career catches. And Turner had 2 conversions on 3rd down in his entire career entering tonight, and he comes up with that 28-yarder on 3rd and 16 with the outrageous performance from Wilson to put it into play. First down now. Russell again extending, and Hollister in stride and muscling his way inside the 20. A 14-yard catch for Jacob Hollister, who has really stepped up in recent weeks.
And Hollister did a nice job there. Of course, Wilson is stepping up, but Hollister did a nice job there, getting away from Sherman and just finding the hole. And Russell, I just can't say enough about how he's keeping these plays alive, just sliding and moving within the pocket.
Remember, touchdown wins it for Seattle. Carson, as he drives the legs forward against Fred Warner, who is making that run fit from that middle linebacker position. Look at this march here. This opening overtime drive for Seattle. 8 plays, 61 yards. 9th play coming. Trying to slay the dragon that has been the dominant 49ers this year in the NFL. 8-0. 2nd and 5. Wilson, pressure off the edge, releases it, and it is intercepted by Greenlaw. Trey Greenlaw now on the return as he's still on his feet with blockers in front. Trey Greenlaw down the sideline. Can you believe this? Russell Wilson throws the pick.
Number 57 here, Trey Greenlaw, does a really nice job. He's got Hollister man-to-man there, picks him up, and just reads the eyes and goes up and makes the pick. Wilson thinks he has him on a little wheel route. They're going to run the tight end Hollister on a wheel, but Greenlaw says no, sir, and makes a big-time play there, going up and getting that one. Wilson might have underthrown it just a little bit, but that's a great play by Greenlaw.
Russell Wilson trying to stay positive here. First red zone interception in his entire career in playing the 49ers. And his first interception in his last 119 pass attempts. Mostert. Remember, a score wins the game now. The 49ers trying to stay perfect. McLaughlin, the rookie kicker, got them into this position. Wilson had Seattle right on the front steps. And now he could be the hero. The unlikeliest of heroes in this much anticipated matchup as Robbie Gould, the 36-year-old 15-year veteran, looks on, kind of gives a chuckle saying, can you believe what this could come down to? Play action, Garoppolo being chased by Clowney, lofts it and gets rid of it. The 3rd and 7.
Take a look at number 90, Jadeveon Clowney. First of all, he whips Joe Staley. Then he goes to Mostert and says, you know what, you get out of the way. And watch him, it's just the effort. He didn't get a sack, but he caused that incompletion. An unbelievable game tonight.
Oh, it's been so special.
He's been dominant tonight. I don't care what the stat sheet says. He has been dominant tonight.
Well, the stat sheet's got him with a touchdown as well. 3rd down and 7 now.
Timeout, San Francisco.
Remember, 2 timeouts given in overtime, and they'll use a timeout. I mean, this game, Boog, just when you think you got things figured out with this game, here's a nice long drive from Seattle, and Russell's got his moment, right? He's got that MVP swag to him this year, and then he floats one. And Dre Greenlaw, who is playing in place of Quan Alexander. Remember, Greenlaw's the rookie, and they need somebody to step up, and Alexander's out for the rest of the year. And here he goes. What a play by Greenlaw. He's a special young man. 3rd down and 7. Off the timeout.
They've been working that deep square in to Deebo Samuel. See if they come back to it.
Garoppolo quickly gets it to the outside. Mostert looking for that marker. Let's watch for the spot, and he's got a 1st down.
That's a nice job. They run Samuel on the square in, Mostert on the out. And it was just a nice throw. Garoppolo settling down. Marker Cam just giving it to you. Your 1st down there.
I think Marker Cam may have taken a hit there, Boog. 1st down for San Francisco. Garoppolo trying to put him in position after the interception and the return. And running back by committee approach, working out pretty well as Mostert now with the fresh legs in overtime. 7 more yards for the Niners, and they can smell it as they're well in range for the rookie to cap this thing.
That was a good play call by Kyle Shanahan. Normally they run the zone scheme. That time they ran the gap scheme, meaning they double team at the point of attack. They pulled the guard around. Really nice job there. Switching up your tendencies by Kyle.
Use check in front of Mostert, and they will go back to that. And this time the Seattle front does a nice job of plugging it up. And of course it was Clowney. I feel like we've been saying his name every other play defensively.
We have.
Former #1 overall pick who was traded from the Texans to the Seahawks, and really a Seahawks front that was grossly underperforming, at least statistically. And he took it upon himself tonight to say, I'm going to play at this level and everybody's going to join me.
Well, he's been dominant.
And now 3rd and 2 for San Francisco. Ball at the 30. So field goal range of McLaughlin has been achieved. As they will sit here and push it ahead. Dead center, and that mark should give him the 1st down. As Garoppolo signal, let's see where they spot it. Near down judge actually marks it perhaps short of where they intended to.
It's really, really tight. Probably bring the stakes out. Take a look at this. Can we see the football? Really tight. If he made it by a hair. My gut says it could potentially be short.
Mike Carr was the official coming in from the near side who made that mark, and it is. So it is 4th down. So how do you prefer your drama to finish up here? Do you like the idea of a rookie who last week didn't know where life would take him, gets the phone call and says, how'd you like to come to San Francisco and kick for a week if Robbie Gould can't go in this Monday night matchup? And Chase McLaughlin will get that chance to kick for a big win for San Francisco. I'm going to get a review here on this spot.
The previous
John.
play is under review.
You know, you got to take a look at it. The game's on the line, 3 minutes to go. Both teams have played so hard. It's been such a great football game to watch. First down extends it, allows them to get a little closer. I understand why they're taking a look at it, but I don't think we're going to see a change.
Tough to say that that's conclusive with so many bodies there, although you do see him fall backwards and still continue to push his body, and then he's on top of Dwelly, the tight end for the Niners. And the Niners were signaling first down right away based on where he finished up, but the near side mark of the official Mike Carr, who came in, put him short. Meanwhile, the official who was running in on the other side, the top of the screen, looked like he perhaps would have marked it where the Niners felt it should have been marked. As you see, Alex Kemp, his second year heading up a crew. He has 5 total years, a second-generation NFL official who leads this crew as the referee. And with overtime, it's New York who will communicate to Kemp.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Fourth down.
So it will be 4th down. And we will have the great unexpected of Chase McLaughlin coming in for a 47-yard attempt to try to keep San Francisco undefeated. Chase McLaughlin, the rookie, signed as a free agent to replace Gold just in case. He's never attempted a single overtime field goal in his short NFL stint or at Illinois when he was playing Big Ten football. He had a really good looking warm-up. We were down there on the field with him watching his warm-up. He was in control. Of course, he had the advantage. I went up, I was having a conversation with Robbie Gould before we came up to the booth here tonight. And Robbie said, you know, I get to play coach this week. And the kid's doing pretty well.
He is.
He's composed. And there is, quote-unquote, coach, the 15-year veteran who had the quad injury that he suffered last Tuesday at practice. So now it comes down to McLaughlin in what was hyped as the game of the year and has over-delivered. 47-yard attempt to stay undefeated. Oh, he punched at it. And it had no chance at all. Low and off to the left. The moment was too big. 3:06 remains and a pat on the helmet to Wilson because he'll get another chance. Snap, hold, adjusted, never had a chance.
That's a classic case of the moment being too big for him, because we saw him in regulation make a kick. And now this moment here, the game winner, his fundamentals just broke down.
So a second chance for Russell Wilson. What is he going to do with it? Chris Carson's going to hit the hole hard and start things well with a good solid first down run there. As he gets it out to the 44.
Seattle's not in any hurry. At one timeout, you got the 2-minute warning, so you have 2 stoppages of the clock. That's why Russell Wilson is taking his time here.
Carson again, this time only a yard. The 3rd down, Nick Bosa with the tackle there. 1 timeout remains for Seattle. 2-minute warning awaits. Third down and 2. With the ball on the 45. great drama tonight. Just great stuff. More to come when we return. Jason Myers is hoping that Russell Wilson and the Seattle offense can give him a shot. The kicker was good from 46 in the fourth quarter to make it 24-21. Here we are in overtime with 2 minutes to play in a 3rd and 2.
The last 2 critical third downs, it's been Josh Gordon time. Here's Josh Gordon right here. Let's see if they go to him.
And Seattle's using their last timeout, coming off of the 2-minute warning. Remember, so much on the line, especially in the division. The 49ers have been out in front. You got the defending NFC champ Rams. And he took it on the chin from Mike Tomlin and the superb job that the Steelers have been doing after their rough start. Now, this Seattle team that has been riding Russell Wilson's wave this year. And then moments ago, he throws the overtime interception. You think San Francisco's going to come down and put this thing away, and then the missed field goal, and now Wilson, a chance for redemption the way he likes it. Down to the wire. He said, we look forward to that tonight. This is exactly what he wanted. 3rd down and 2.
Josh Gordon is not in the game, so it's probably a play that he's not familiar with.
3rd and 2. They bring pressure. Wilson on 3rd down. It's incomplete. He was looking for Metcalf.
That's a good play by number 41, Emmanuel Mosley. I mean, he's a couple inches shorter, probably 35, 40 pounds lighter than Metcalf, but he just competes his tail off and goes up and makes a play as he's filling in for a Kilo Witherspoon. Nice job there by Mosley.
Dixon on to punt. James has his heels back at the 8-yard line. And this is a sky punt that James has the secured fair catch just short of the 20. 1:50 and 1 timeout for Jimmy Garoppolo. There hasn't been a tie on Monday Night Football since 1983. We had the Giants and the St. Louis Cardinals 20-20 in October of '83.
Jimmy Garoppolo's got 1 timeout. The last time we saw a 2-minute drill, he was flustered. He almost threw 2 interceptions. It's important. Take the check down. If Seattle's going to play zone, which it look like they are, take the underneath throw.
4-man rush against Garoppolo. Ball was batted, and it harmlessly falls to the ground. That was Jaron Reed who got his hand up. That was so dangerous, though. It was floating there into that second level of the defense.
And Reed does a good job. Can't get to the quarterback. As a defensive lineman, we're all taught to get our hands up.
Remember, he had the forced fumble that ended up being the scoop and score for Clowney when Seattle got out of that 10-0 hole earlier. 2nd and 10. Garoppolo, shallow cross, and it's off the hands of Pettis. So now a 3rd and 10 coming up for San Francisco.
And Garoppolo just a little off there. Just throwing that ball. You got to put that ball on his body. It's so far out in front. You got to put it right on his body there to allow him to catch and run.
1:42 left in overtime. 3rd down and 10 for the undefeated Niners. Garoppolo with time wants to take a shot downfield. And it is batted away at the last second by Shaquille Griffin.
Wow.
What a play to extend himself and deny that.
Wow. I mean, Deebo Samuel does a good job. He gets on top, but Griffin turns around, sees the ball, but then the extra effort to lay out with 2 hands. Wow.
Samuel had a step on him. Griffin extended himself. And 83, David Moore is now the return man for Seattle off this punt from Wisnowski. As he fields it at the 32. And we're going to have 1:25 remaining. Dueling banjos tonight. That guy against this defense of San Francisco. 49ers only ran off 25 seconds of clock there on that last possession. That was not well managed at all. So no timeouts for Russell Wilson as he takes over here with the ball at the 36-yard line.
At some point, they're going to get the ball to Josh Gordon. If Tyler Lockett is out, the guy they've been going to in crucial situation is number 10, Josh Gordon. He will play a factor on this drive.
Here's Russ as he goes to Carson, who steps out at the 39 after 3 yards, and that stops the clock at 1:21. Look at the stains on the jersey of Carson. Brian Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator. Russell Wilson, his 8th season, Super Bowl champion, and now a midseason MVP frontrunner. Imagine if he adds this to the resume, as going down for it was Hollister. As it'll be 3rd down.
It's interesting that they call Hollister inbounds.
Yes.
I don't think he was touched, so he goes down on his own, untouched, and then if he goes out of bounds, it is a correct clock stoppage.
So that is the stoppage at 1:16. 3rd down and 3.
'49ers in a pressure look.
Overloaded to that left side of the defensive line. Here comes pressure. Wilson escapes. Here goes Russ. Past midfield, inside the 40, and he makes magic again with a 21-yard run. A 21-yard run by Russell Wilson, and now they can manage things here. Under a minute to play. Quickly Metcalf to the outside, lowers the shoulder and goes ahead down to about the 31-yard line. Clock continues to run. Remember, no timeouts for Seattle. But you got Russell Wilson, calm and cool and ready to put them in position again. And they hand off to Carson, and Carson will get it down inside the 25 and a 1st down. They have every opportunity to clock it and set up that guy, Jason Myers, to try to hand San Francisco their 1st loss of the year.
Doesn't look like Russell's going to clock it. He's just letting it go down.
And they'll do it there, leaving 4 seconds. He was kicking with a lot of confidence in warm-ups, and he has been all night. In fact, the 46-yarder he made was at this end of the field. And keep in mind, a guy coming off a horrific game last week where he missed a 40-yarder that would have been a game winner, missed an extra point, missed another field goal, but he's had a tremendous bounce back here and could cap it with this thriller to hand the 49ers their 1st loss of the season and launch Seattle into celebration. And a timeout.
Before the ball was snapped, timeout. San Francisco, their 2nd and final timeout of overtime.
So a timeout used right at the last possible moment.
We've talked all night about rush lane integrity and keeping Russell Wilson in the pocket. The 49ers blitz, he finds a gap. Anytime you blitz, you have to have every gap accounted for, and they didn't. And again, Russell Wilson finding a hole, creating a play to put his team in position to kick a game-winning field goal here in overtime.
42-yarder for the win. Got a practice kick a moments ago. Jason Myers, does he have it in him again? And Seattle has done it. in a classic. And San Francisco suffers their first loss. Russell Wilson put on that cape again. And for Richard Sherman, he makes that walk across to his former team. Jason Myers from 42. Inside the upright. That was a masterpiece of a regular season game. An absolute masterpiece.
And if you look at what Russell Wilson did tonight, in the clutch moments, in the biggest parts of this game, he made plays and showed why he is the clear front runner for the most valuable player in our league. Just unbelievable playmaking ability by Russell Wilson.
Kyle Shanahan came in 8-0. And they'll leave with a few bruises, a few bumps, and now a loss. And somewhere the 72 Dolphins can pop plenty of champagne. Celebrate again in South Florida. Seattle did it. 27-24 in overtime. Right to the last second. It was awesome, wasn't it? We're going to have Mahomes in Mexico City next week against the Chargers, as we will send it to the Ram Trucks post-game report on SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt. For Booger McFarland, Lisa Salters, and John Perry, I'm Joe Tessitore saying thanks for being with us and enjoy the rest of your night